There you go. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Stephen Butler, and we are live at 3 Alarm Comics for our Mississippi Macabre meet and greet event. And for my portion in this, I'm going to be working on a Kickstarter commission. And this Kickstarter commission is a drawing of the Ted Cord Blue Beetle that I've already penciled it, but I'm going to be inking it here for you so you can see the progress as I'm inking. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to go ahead and start doing it while I'm talking. If anybody has any questions you want to ask me while I'm doing it, I'm here to answer them.
Yeah, probably take a little while. We're supposed to start at 2, but issues arose.
Yeah, we've been really busy. I mean, as far as issues, it's been a good as far as problems go, it's been a good problem. So it's been a really busy day. Really excited about how well the books are selling. So I am there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and text my buddy Tommy Floramonte, who wanted to join in.
What if you want to share it to your stuff too?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
And then
don't you send me like
I can
an invitation thing or whatever?
Hold on, let me see. I can send it to you.
Or whatever would be the easiest way.
Or if you just go to the store Facebook page, you can share it from there.
From 3 Alarm Facebook?
Yeah.
All right.
Darren says hello, Stephen and Lily.
Darren. Okay. Hey, Darren.
Hey, Darren.
There we go. Is it just your regular one or the group?
That one.
That one?
And then click that, and it should be
right there. So just share.
And you share it whatever you need to.
All right. I'm going to share it to mine. And we are live. And I'll share it to my other one as well. We're live. And I'm going to share it to my Stephen Butler Studios page. So, got it on both of them. Lil, do you want to share it on your page too? Oh, she's doing her own thing. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Went a little too crazy with it. There we go. A little bit better.
Okay. All right.
Going crazy. I might have to go do an interview now. I'll share it back with you.
Okay.
Any comments, I'll share right up on there. If you just look every once in a while.
Okay. I'll check them. Okay. So Mr. Scott just left to go do an interview with a local reporter for local TV, WLOX. And so I'm just going to continue here drawing. And I'm inking with a Pentel pocket brush pen, which is my go-to preferred inking tool, especially for like organic stuff. But I'll be using some other tools as well in a little while. But this one here is probably the one that I use the most when I'm doing these. That one, and hold on, I'll go ahead and show you another one that I like to use a lot too. The Pentel pocket brush pen has the ink. Let's see if I can show it here. can see the screen, but I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. You can see that it has a cartridge that's full of ink. So once the cartridge is used up, you just get another cartridge. You buy the cartridges separately. But this one, yeah, I'm gonna put this one up for now.
Yeah.
This one here is also made by Pentel, but it's another brush pen, but all the ink is in the barrel of the pen itself. So to get the ink activated, you squeeze it here till you see the little bubbles come out of it. You see the bubbles come out of it here. I don't know if you can tell. It's hard for me to be able to judge looking at the screen. Things backwards. Anyway, I like this one too, and I can get even finer lines with this one, like hatching, not hatching. What's that other thing called? Feathering, for feathering lines. But and again, once you've used up all the ink out of the barrel, you just either buy a new pen or you can buy the barrel itself separately and get it to put it on your because the barrel usually wears out before the bristles will. These are pretty long lasting, especially if you ink a lot. You can, I don't know how long it usually takes me to go through one of these, several months. If you ink a lot. If you don't ink a lot, they'll last you for a long time. This is what's called feathering, which is creating creating a form, the impression of a form that's it's not a hard edge, but it's a soft edge that shows a form that's folding. I use it a lot in like muscular system with where it's got like darker clothing. So it's a combination of like brush strokes like this that delineate the form, mixed with cross hatching that shows a I can't think of the word, a gradation, I guess would be the gradation of a form wrapping around itself, show like a hill type of thing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of history, guys.
All right. See that? See what I'm doing there? All right. And here's another thing with me. I tend to ink pretty fast, and if I'm not careful, I'll put my hand over what I've just put down before it's dried, and then I'll wind up smearing the ink. And that's something that, I mean, you can still work with it. I've got white paint that I can go back over, but I'd rather not have to do that if I can help it. So I try to get it right the first time, kind of a thing. And for the person that's getting this, I think this is for Leslie Trigg. And if you're watching, hey Leslie, thanks for doing this. This was a Kickstarter commission. Leslie, I think it's Leslie. I'm not exactly sure, but whoever it was for, they made a pledge to the Kickstarter for the original art, not original art tier, the commission tier. And so, when you do that, you get like the size that we work in, and it's black and white. You just get to pick the character that you want done. And so he picked He picked the Ted Cord version of Blue Beetle, which is my favorite. I think he's a lot of people's favorite version of the character. Originally coming out in the 1960s from Charlton Comics, and Steve Ditko was the guy that created this particular look of Blue Beetle. I think he's pretty much the one that most all the guys my age and maybe 10 years younger than me know. The current Blue Beetle is completely different character. The one that the movie was based on was a completely different character. Even though I think that this version was on the movie somehow. I don't know. I can't remember. I watched that movie on a airplane flight, and I don't remember a whole lot about it. Anybody have any questions you want to ask me? Go ahead. I can check the screen. It's a little far away for me to read, but I can always check it.
Yeah, 100%. You're our conduit. You're like the antenna.
Okay.
We do stuff like Brian O'Hallis in here, and I was a little late out there earlier. And his wife went down. We're actually a sister for this one, so we do a lot of work with them.
Oh, they already did.
One of these.
My brother was just in French years. I was actually in your practice. So like, and so we have some
I like inking with these brushes because you can get such a fine line. I like their ability to mimic just a regular brush dipped in ink. Only difference is you don't have to dip with these, and they are the ink is waterproof. You can color right over the top of these, even though this one's not going to be a color piece. This is just a black and white piece. But if it was color, I could color directly over it with markers or watercolors, whatever it is. It's not going to smear.
Met Ming first, and then your friends. Now me and Mike are better friends. There's Brian O'Hallis too. Met him actually had two other actors. Met him.
Thank you.
Bye. You gone? It's good seeing you again.
Take a nap.
That's all right. That's
We
all
stayed up
right.
really late watching the fight.
Oh, okay. So it went out. It went on late.
When you came in, I was in like
And his wife, met him.
So you felt bad for him. You gone? All right. Good seeing you again, man. We'll see you at the next one. At the next round. Have a good one, Carl.
very nice.
Chill out a little bit.
Bye, guys. See you later. Bye.
Again, we are at 3 Alarm Comics for the meet and greet for the first issue of Mississippi Macabre, which is our anthology comic that we crowdfunded, which is about legends and folklore from around Mississippi, told by Mississippi creators.
So we bring Blake over here, and he can go here too.
Sure. Well, I'm pushing it.
Yeah, Donald Willman. You ever?
Is it Willman? I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, bud, looking good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it."
Blake wants to bring his up. We can turn the camera over to Blake. We can talk about it.
Yeah, go mention it to him.
Hey, Blake, you gonna bring your chair over here and get on and talk about it too?
I'm plugging you.
That did not sound good.
We are live.
And we'll turn the other camera toward you if you'll bring a chair over.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, you sit right there.
Okay. Do we have
Yeah, I'm
enough
just-
for Rodney or just?
Probably
Bring a chair over.
whenever he's done with his
currently on?
storytelling.
You're still
Yeah, we're on. We're good. Yeah, I mean, he's got one on me doing this drawing here, and but I'm
You working on the Blue Beetle?
I'm doing this doing the Blue Beetle Kickstarter commission. Now this one is for Leslie Trigg, right? Yeah,
I tagged him in that earlier. So you should
Yeah, I
see
thought
it.
so. And Tommy, I did tell Tommy that we were live.
I can
so-
send Tommy a link to show Tommy wants to join in.
Yeah, he does. He
Oh, here,
does.
be sending
He
a
said
link.
he said he's home, so he'll be able to join us. So
All right, let me send
This
him
is
a
our
link.
camera.
this will be the first time. I don't even think. I mean, you've met Tom, right? And you have too. You were here that
Yeah, you
day
met
when he was
Tom.
here, right? Okay, gotcha. So,
Let me send him a link.
but no, what I thought we would maybe do is talk a little bit about the genesis of this whole thing and what our I guess our mission statement or whatever. Did that lady come over and talk to you? The one that was over here that's from Pascagoula and told me, I said, you need to go and talk to her.
yeah.
That's one of your
Absolutely.
students.
She's talking about cleaning a place in Pascagoula.
Yeah,
Said
she
that
showed us
some weird
pictures.
stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you definitely need to talk.
Pascagoula's a hub of weird stuff.
Well, that's what I told her. I said, I think we got enough material. We could do a whole issue
Yeah.
just on
Pascagoula
Pascagoula
series.
stories. Yeah.
And the mayor is cool. When I talked to him, he really wants us to do something on the alien story. He
Wow.
was very, like, yeah, really, please do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I got that email from the guy from USM, and I mentioned both of you guys to him.
Yeah.
Whenever I answered him and said, you're probably going to need to get in touch with both of these guys to,
I sent
give
Tommy the
yourself
link.
to give yourself some meat, to work with. So
That'll be good.
since we're all already live, we can go ahead and
Hey, there we are.
yeah. we can already talk a little bit about how this whole thing got started. And I guess, Blake, it goes back to the whole us doing the Jackson Comics thing together, because that's how we met,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you approached me, right? Was it at
Yeah, I think we technically met at Comic Cons before. I don't know if you knew we met then,
probably
but
not.
I had been there.
Well, you said that I met your wife
Oh, yeah,
whenever she was
Mary.
little.
Yeah, Mary knew you from a
And
young
then
age.
there's the connection with Scott, with her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how things are so interconnected
Yeah.
without us realizing.
Leslie says looks good.
Oh, thank you. I've name dropped you a couple of times lately.
Yeah, professionally, we started working on Jackson Comics together.
Yes, and that was the first issue.
That first
of
issue,
yeah.
with Captain Jackson on the cover, and that was our story. And
Which for you, I can imagine, was quite the learning experience, because here you were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, coming into this comic book business.
My first go at it,
Yeah.
and then a seasoned artist to work with, so it was an interesting dynamic.
How did you find out about me? I mean, you said you already knew about who I was, right?
Yeah, I think I'd already done a lot of the research, like who the Mississippi artists were.
Yeah.
And I think if you just type in Mississippi artists, you pop up.
Oh yeah.
Comic book artists.
Yeah.
But I'd already known who you were anyway.
Yeah.
Just from Comic Cons and
Sure.
reading comics. But so I knew I wanted to get you to work on it to add some weight to that first issue, because I wasn't sure who the artists were going to be, but I was like, we got to have Stephen Butler in there.
Right.
at least.
Right.
And
Well,
so-
yeah, I think whenever you first contacted me, I think one of the first things you asked me to do was to design this character, this Captain Jackson that you were developing. And and I think maybe the actual comic story kind of grew out of that.
I didn't know you were going to do the story. I think I was like, let's just get you to do the cover.
Yeah.
And then you did the cover, and I was like, well, you going to do the story too?
Yeah, I don't think you had to twist my arm too much, because I'm like, I like this guy. He's cool, especially whenever I found out that you were a fan of the classic comics, like the Kurt Swan, Superman and stuff. And that's kind of how
which we sort of had inspiration for the second one.
Yes,
that
yes,
we did
for sure.
The first one, Jackson Comics, was like a celebration of 200 years of Jackson, Mississippi. So it's like of our capital city.
Yeah.
That came out in 2022.
Yeah.
Or 3. But
yeah.
And then the second one came out earlier this year, believe it or
did,
not.
yeah.
And the second one was a student
I only
issue.
know that because it appeared in my Facebook feed, and it had the date on it. I'm like, holy smoke, was it then? I thought it was further back than that.
It seems
but
like
no.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was in April.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think going back to what you were saying, being a fan of that early comic books, I think we started talking about EC Comics.
Yes. Even then, before
so.
Mississippi Macabre was even a thing.
I think we were just talking comics.
Okay.
You would send me stuff you were working on. You were commissioned for things that were, I don't know, Dracula or something. You would be talking about it, and you send me the YouTube stuff that you would watch for inspiration, and we'd talk about that.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing, guys. We constantly send each other YouTube videos to check out, and we're constantly feeding back and forth. Even this morning, I think I sent you guys
all hours too.
Yeah.
I was driving here, and I was putting my phone going.
I wake up
like,
at
there's the cat going on.
I woke up at 2:30 one morning because I'm now an old man, and I frequently have to make some pit stops in the middle of the night. And sometimes whenever I get up, an idea might strike me, and I don't even think about the
There you go. There's the Jackson Comics.
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
That is Captain Jackson himself. From
Jackson.
the first, and that's downtown Jackson, right?
Yeah, that's downtown Jackson.
Yeah.
See the Standard Life building in the background.
Blake, whenever you first asked me to draw him, and he said I want his costume to be the flag of Jackson, the first thing I said, Jackson has a flag.
Yeah, and I think we sort of talked about sort of the story of how that happens if he got the flag from, if he wears the Jackson flag, or if the Jackson flag is based off his costume.
Yes,
we were talking about.
Yes, and that's where I think that was the genesis of where you could blend historical fact with the fantasy, element of it, and
which is
for where one informs the other kind of a thing, which leads us to the Mississippi Macabre thing, and
with our historian.
Yeah, and
Brad
that's where all of us come in, because I can't even remember who I don't even remember which one of you I first started talking about. I mean, did we talk about it before this? Because I know We had been
I feel like I
talking.
was talking to
Yeah.
both of you at the same time, you know.
Yeah, that's what you
about-
said. You
about
said this would be
this.
a whole lot easier if I just talked to you together.
Yeah, and that's where the Mississippi Macabre
Yeah.
chat group
I think
thing
we were
came
talking
from.
about EC Comics, and you probably talking about old stories with him, and then
Yeah.
we were just like, let's just merge these two
Yeah.
into one.
So Rodney, we've known each other for quite a few years now because you were my daughter's teacher
Yeah, that's
back in the day, and you got me to. I think you tried several times to get me to come down there and talk, but it wound up that we were able to do that one time, and
Absolutely.
and we just kind of hit it off from there.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I knew when I got Lily in my classroom, my chances improved.
There you go.
It's like,
There you
Lily Butler.
Yeah.
What is your dad's name?
And then the next thing I know, I wound up getting. I think it was you that put my name and nominated me for the what was it, the
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame for
Mississippi Gulf Coast
I'm
Community
like,
College.
and so anyway, we went through that whole thing, which was
That's
kind of cool.
It's awesome.
Well, I walked down the hallway one day, and it's all around the same time because I'd started teaching a section in my English classes on comics,
Uh-huh.
on the history, how to read them, and we read comics too. And I wanted to bring a comic writer artist in, and then Steve
Yeah.
Butler came in. I was walking down the hallway one day, and I didn't see any artist in the Hall of Fame. I was like, Stephen Butler needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He could be the first. So yeah, I think he was the first artist in the Hall of Fame in there, and it was awesome.
When I went to that college, it was considered a junior college. It was It was just wasn't even called MGCCC then. It was Jackson County Junior College is what we called it. So I went from 84 to 84 and 85, I guess it was. Maybe no, I remember going the summer after I graduated. So yeah, I graduated in 83. Hey, that's how old I am. And then left in 85 and went to USM in Hattiesburg. But that that's the times that I was active there. So
Yeah, and then I think from there, after we got in this group chat,
Yeah.
it didn't take long before we added Tommy.
yeah,
Tommy is here, I think, or joining.
don't think that he's
I'm not
here
sure.
yet.
Tommy joined as our printer consultant.
Yeah, printer. Also,
And
he's an
inker.
inker. Yeah, because I've known Tommy for. We're talking about Thomas Floramonte Jr. here, who's been in the comic book business about as long as Mitch and I have, and as primarily as an inker, but he's worked for a lot of different companies. He's inked me many times on different comics from Marvel, Malibu, Valiant, several other.
Lady Death.
Did he ink Lady Death? Yes, he did.
All the
We did.
pinups.
Yeah, that was back in the Chaos Comics days for the Lady Death stuff. I think we even did some comics together. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. But hang on, you guys talk. I'm going to look him up and say, "Where you at?"
Yeah. Well, then, so we started talking about. I think at that point, Mississippi Macabre became something we were serious about. We were like, it's no longer an idea. If we can, get these stories written out and get the artists together, we can actually do it, and maybe we can do it before October.
It really all kind of fit almost as if it was meant to be because
One y'all did?
Yeah. And I think Tommy wound up inking that. Now I didn't draw it. I did a couple of covers for it. That was Night Watch, which was kind of Marvel's Spawn ripoff thing, and that was what I was going to be working on before I got the job of doing Web of Spider-Man. And Tommy inked the covers, and when I made the jump to Web, Tommy stayed on that and inked. I can't remember that. Roy Burdine, I think, is the name of the artist who did that, who became a big wig with the animation, Marvel animation department. I'm sorry.
no, that's awesome. But we all had an interest in everything Mississippi.
Yes.
More
That's-
than just an interest.
Yes.
A passion for
Yes.
how much we appreciate it and love it, and
Like
also,
we need to do something about it.
Yeah,
type of
absolutely.
thing.
And So I was already doing my own thing, which was traveling around the 82 counties of Mississippi. I started a group called Wandering the Pines of Mississippi to promote tourism, preserve history, collect stories. But a lot of the stories I was collecting was also folklore, which to me is just as important as any other kind of history.
Yes.
And then when we got in this group, of course, I liked spooky things as well.
Yeah.
I started sharing some of these spooky stories, and it was fitting with what they liked, and it just all kind of fit right at the right time.
Yeah.
All together. I grew up on the Tales of the Crypt and Fear and all of those comics. My mom had a shoebox full of those comics. She called the sick box. And if her brothers got sick, the sick box.
Okay.
So if they ever got sick, she would send them that shoebox of comics to read until they got better.
Wow.
That thing's probably got all kinds of germs.
No doubt. Which is kind of fitting, though.
It is.
Considering the source material.
But oh man, it made you feel better reading those comics because you couldn't
You're
get
like,
up
it could be
moving
worse.
around.
Right.
And so I grew up on the stuff. But when we got in these groups, or this really Facebook Messenger groups,
that's exactly what it is.
And we started sharing all these stories. I think I had traveled to the Yazoo Witch's grave, and we started talking about that, and talking about the legend, and then it happened so quickly.
Yeah, I think we decided we needed a narrator, someone to sort of tell the stories.
And that came from our mutual love of the EC comics, and that was their formula. They called them the Ghoul Lunatics. They had the Crypt Keeper, they had the Vault Keeper, and they had the Old Witch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got our own witch. Let's just make her our own Crypt Keeper.
And I think you had the idea to make all three witches, which you have the character designs.
I do. Yeah. I'll show you. Actually, I've got a lot of this stuff here I'll stop doing this for just a second. A lot of this stuff here are like preliminary drawings that I did. Like these drawings here were trying to get it to where they can see it. Yeah, there we go. A lot of these drawings here were the actual drawings and we use most all of this. Like this is our actual logo, which is the skull, which is the skull surrounded by the magnolias. I mean, the skull is the Macabre part, and then the magnolias is the Mississippi part. And then up here, I've got the Old Witch, and this was my original. Everything's backwards, so it's hard for me to get it lined up right. But this was my original design for the cover that turned into a painted cover, and then this one here is the skull surrounded by magnolias. I don't know if you can tell it, but there's like a lot of where's it at? It's got a lot of eyeballs inside the magnolias. So anyway, and then over here is this, and I don't know why I did it like this, but this is the actual logo that we use for the comic. Now that was just a sketch for it. It got Lily did her magic on the computer to make it all work. This comic has been mostly art-wise. It's been mostly a hybrid of how can I say traditional art done on paper and digital art. And because I did a lot of it on paper, but my daughter Lily did most of her part on the computer. So, and over here is the script that Blake did of the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula, which is the story that I drew, and I started doing the thumbnails directly onto the script, which is I do the same thing for the Archie stuff, and so it's very similar to that. And then whenever I finished the script here, I would take it and do a more detailed. We call them thumbnails. This is more like a layout, and I just did it just with regular pens that you could buy at the dollar store, and this is just cardstock paper that you could buy at Walmart. And I did the entire story on this, and these pages here were scanned into actually I just took pictures of them with my phone, sent them over to Lily to put on her iPad Pro, and she just went from there. And then this is where we first meet the witch, which was this was 2 pages that I turned into 3 pages just because it morphed into 3 pages for whatever reason. And then this right here is the actual reveal of the witch right here. And I think I was talking to you guys whenever I added this. I think I was sitting right over there. It was free comic book day, or no, it was one of the days that we were here.
Yeah.
And I said, I feel like it needs something else, and I added that last panel where it says "read on if you dare" kind of thing. So sometimes this stuff just happens spur of the moment kind of thing, you know. And then these here are these were ad pages that one of the things that we did that I think it's pretty unique. I don't know of many other people that do this where we're offering the chance for people to local businesses to have their art or have their ad done in comic book style for the first. This was for it's called Lucid Ink, I think. They're a printer, t-shirt printer in Jackson, and this is a worm farm. I don't know where's the worm farm located, Rodney. Do you remember? I'm not
off the top of my head, but it was perfect for this comic to have that ad.
Exactly. This one here is for a place called Catfish Zone, which was run by a friend of mine named Richie Blackman. He's in Columbia, and I designed the actual, and Richie's an artist himself, so he finished. I did the layouts for him, but he finished the actual ad. So anyway, that's a little bit of background for the stuff that we've done. Now you, Rodney, are our official, unofficial historian for our book. And do you feel like your main job is collecting? Because we do a lot of back and forth, you know, bouncing off ideas, but you do bring a lot of the raw, you know, material to the. And it all usually starts with, "Hey guys, did you know about whatever?" You know.
Yeah, some of these stories pretty much some of them tell themselves almost. They're just perfect.
Yes.
Like the Yazoo Witch.
Yes.
Some stories, like legends and folklore,
Yes.
you know about the monster and what they did, but not the details in between.
Right.
So there's room for the imagination to fill in the gaps.
Right.
That's one thing I've learned through this first comic is every story is different in that way.
Right.
Different sets of challenges, but they're all special in a way because I always feel like maybe I just like saying it. I don't know. But I feel like we're kind of like the Grimm brothers and how we're preserving
right.
specifically with folklore. So it makes sense. And we're traveling around too to go to some of these places.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is
because we want to lend authenticity.
Absolutely. I'll reach out to, for example, for future stories that we have, I've reached out to experts in the area, anthropologists. I've reached out to people outside of the country who specialize in certain elements that we're writing about that I don't know how much we could talk about yet, but I exhaust all resources to make it as accurate as possible, because these are beloved stories in communities, from the Pascagoula Alien to the Yazoo City Witch. They have festivals created around these legends.
You're the Bigfoot screaming champion, right?
Yes, right now I'm the reigning Bigfoot calling champion of Mississippi.
Yeah.
And that's a yearly thing that's held in Natchez, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll just go ahead and say it. So I looked, the Natchez Native American language has almost disappeared.
Yes.
And a gentleman is releasing a book in 2025 to try to preserve this language. And we have a story that's going to include the Natchez Indians in there, and I want to include some of those words to help, save them
and to bring it to the public conscious.
Yeah, absolutely. People don't think about that part of history and the fact that these languages disappear. And that'll be centered around a really cool story coming up. Can we talk
Yeah,
about
go
this?
ahead. I mean, Stephen will be illustrating something in a little
Sure.
bit, I'm sure.
And down here we have the story of the Singing River, you know,
Yeah.
and the
Oh, yes.
Pascagoula Indians that we were talking about earlier. You know, that's an important story to get out, and it'd be fun to draw, you know, especially if with the mermaid thing and all of that, all of that
Yes.
stuff. But I think it's as a way to preserve, you know, these stories. This is a very unique way of getting it to this culture right now, because comic books are so accessible to everybody. Knows everybody, you know, because of the Hollywood. You know, we're in a comic book centric culture right now. So
Yeah.
you know, it behooves us, you know,
Yeah.
to continue on.
Stories are important. It's a
Tommy
part of
Butler
our.
showed up.
I mean, he literally just said, "Hey, man, I want to be on it." I'm like, "We talking about you right now, dude?"
Send him a freaking.
Where you at?
Let me call him.
He's making a sandwich or something. No, or he's off on his bike. Who knows?
I'll call
But these stories are a part of our identity. You know,
Yes.
if you grow up in your small town, that's your story that you hear about in school, or you're scared to go to that one haunted
Yes.
house, or that go down that one spooky road.
That's the word that I was looking for a while ago. You were talking about how important these folklore stories are. It's our cultural identity. I think, and that's specifically geared toward our state. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's sort of, we were talking about, I think we were deciding on if we were going to do themes in per
Yes.
issue when we were
Yes.
talking about the first one. And I think we just wanted to sort of experiment with different things in the first one to figure if we want to do themes or not. And
Yeah.
I feel like we still ended up on a theme. I feel like it's like specifically legends around Mississippi. You have the Witch of Yazoo,
Yeah.
Robert Johnson. Well, Phantom Barber wasn't so much a legend. It happened. But whether or not we know who it was is sort of when you get
It's a
to the
legend now.
Yeah, it's a legend now. It's legendary. And then the old tavern in Jackson has a legend of it being
Yes.
haunted as well.
Yes.
So once we have those, I don't remember exactly how we decided. I think you knew you wanted to do the Witch of Yazoo because you had a sort of a personal history with that from like grade school even.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I wanted to do Phantom Barber at this point. I think I remember reading the story online somewhere, and I was like, that would make a really great comic.
Yeah.
And so I wrote that script almost overnight and then made tweaks for the next couple of weeks or so. But and then I think I reached out to Jason Turner and I was like, you want to be a part of this, and what story would you want to do? And he had his personal experience being
At the tavern.
in Jackson. And so it sort of inspired him to do the story that he did. And then John Jennings, it was just, he's from the Delta, and so it just made sense that he wanted to do Barbara Johnson at the Crossroads,
Right.
and that fit with our whole
He did an
story as
awesome
well.
job with it too.
Yeah.
Awesome
You want to
job.
hear funny stories on the
Yeah, and so that sort of
lawn?
wrapped up the 4-story. I think that's how EC Comics used to do it too. It sort of mimicked. They did usually had 8-page stories, 7, 7, and 8.
Yeah. It usually opened with a longer one and closed with a longer one with the shorter ones sandwiched in between.
I think more or less that's what we did. I think we might have ended up starting with the 2 shorter ones and the 2 longer ones.
Yeah.
Actually.
But it still has that same
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, 4 stories.
Yeah.
Um,
And not only did we use the witch as the narrator of the stories, we used her for most of them, not all of them, but we used her for the narrator of the ads that were, which is something I was talking to him about before he came back over here. Is that those ads? I think those are pretty unique thing that also makes it appealing to maybe even people outside of comics. I'm still anxious to see how many more businesses are going to be jumping on that bandwagon after the first issue. They already have. Huh? Wow.
We already have 2 that want to do for the next issue.
That's awesome.
Here's a couple, Stephen, if you wanted to show people what
Sure.
the ads look like.
The ads that we're talking about, we're kind of, whenever everything's backwards, and so I have a hard time making it work. Okay, there we go. I think. Am I going back this way? Yeah. These are the ads, 2 of them. That this one is Mystery Inc., which is for the Lucid Inc. I think, is, and they're based up in Jackson.
Yeah, I think they're actually in Pearl, but it's a Jackson
Okay,
Metro.
and then where's the Worm Farm at? This one,
That's in Jackson.
this one here is the Worm Farm, and it's based in Jackson.
Yep.
Now these were just 2 of. I know we did at least 5 or 6
Yeah, we did
in
several.
here.
Rodney
Yeah,
wrote
here's the
Witch of Yazoo-
visit.
Yazoo.
Here's the Visit Yazoo one that I did. I think that was the first. Everything backwards. It's hard to adjust. I'm having to go. Anyway, you can see a little bit of what I'm doing there. That was a lot of fun to do with all. The only thing somebody said, "Hey, you got everything in there, but Jerry Clower."
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, you know what? We'll have to do something on him. I don't know if he ever had any spooky stories, but we'll have to do something on him sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Some of the ads might lend to something.
Yeah,
who knows?
They're little mini stories, some
Sure.
of them in a way,
Exactly.
which is fun.
It's like getting to tell short stories in one page.
Like one of the ad with the coffee shop,
Yeah, Urban Foxes.
Urban Foxes. My daughter really liked that one.
Yeah.
Because
everybody in there
it had,
together.
it
I
literally
like
had.
seeing all of them together.
It had Robert Johnson was in there playing with the devil,
Yeah.
and I drew the devil. I'm like, I want to draw him again, like Mephistopheles kind of a character. Yeah, see if you can get it on. Yeah, see if you can get it on there. Yeah,
You're right. It's backwards. It's weird.
She liked to see
this
them,
is
yeah.
strange. Yes, but yeah, when you draw these characters and you like them, it's like you want to. I don't want to just draw them as like one-off character. I want to continue drawing this stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes that happens. You draw something and you like it, and it turns into an ongoing thing. You know, not really planned that way, but kind of. I like it because it's more organic.
Yeah. A little foreshadowing in future issues.
Yeah, that's
Some
right.
of the characters that make it into
The three-legged lady.
three-legged
Yeah,
lady,
you're
the
right.
Sasquatch.
Where's she based in? What county or what area?
It's south of. I can't remember the name of the road off the top of my head, but it's
Oh, it's
south
a
of-
specific road.
Nash
Okay.
Road. I just don't know what county it's
And I went down that road. There's so much I want to talk to y'all about.
Well,
Because,
go
like,
ahead. We're live.
well, what we do is we don't just read about it online.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's how should I say, lets me down sometimes when people just regurgitate old knowledge and it's already been written, it's already been done.
Yeah.
And some of it, the details are incorrect.
Yeah.
They think it's correct because they just copying what they saw before.
Yeah.
But instead, we travel to these places. We take pictures of them. I talk to the locals even. And yeah, I went on that road, and it's a very, very creepy road to say the least. It's very creepy. I went down there by myself.
Very
And
remote area.
Very remote,
Yeah.
and they had this tree that's just. It's just incredibly large and beautiful and eerie, and everything around it looks dead except this one giant tree. So obviously that's something I would show an artist. Say, okay, this is a spot for something on this road.
Mhm.
So we see things like that. At the northern part of that road in the town, where the Tennessee Williams house is, there were these ladies in there that called themselves the Golden Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, they had some characters there.
They were characters, and I was going to see the Tennessee Williams house too, and they said, "Where are you headed next?" I said, "Well, I'm going down, see if I can find the three-legged lady." I don't know why I told these ladies this, and I expected
She said
them.
you found her.
I expected them to like look at me like I was crazy.
Start shooing you out the door.
Yeah.
But
Daryl
they
says
were-
hi,
Hey, Daryl.
and Tommy messaged say he'll be here on in a second.
Okay.
But the Golden Girls were really fun. They were like, "Oh yeah, well, you know the three-legged ladies."
Old friend of ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even back in our day, we knew of the three-legged lady. But really, we just went down there to make out. Now, don't tell anybody. But now it's live on the recording.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
and she said, and our kids went down there too. Their kids will go down that road,
Yeah.
hoping to see the three-legged lady, and so we talk to the locals. We hear their stories. We go to those places, not just for authenticity of how it looks, but I think it's important to get it how they see it as well. And sometimes we can fill in the gaps. Like the three-legged lady story, there's a lot of gaps.
And there's
in that
different
story.
versions of it
And there's
too.
like 4 different
Yeah.
versions. So that
And usually
one,
it tends to be something about she's got jilted somehow, but I don't know where the extra leg comes from. But
Couple of
she's
different-
sewing it on herself,
Uh-huh.
kind of. It's very creepy, you
it
know.
is very creepy.
So
That's sort of an interesting point that we've talked about is how we draw the line between remaining like factual to the history and taking our own creative aspects to it. And I
Yeah.
think we sort of walk in between those two
Yes.
things. We don't want to go against anything historical, but we also don't want to be
Yeah.
confined to
yeah.
this is how they said it happened.
Right. You want to be respectful. And I found that out whenever Lily and I did the interview with Hugh Keaton with the WLOX a couple of weeks back about the Phantom Barber, and we talked, that very thing came up because the other guys that were there were historians, and they were saying, well, it didn't really happen that way. It's like, no, but this is our interpretation, you know, of it. Yeah, Lily said it's a comic book.
Yeah, I love that.
I knew that
was
was
the
coming.
Yeah.
It's comic book, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
it has to
get with
be,
the program.
Yeah,
But-
the ending to that story is very different than how the legend of the story ends. But it's also, I think, better for it because if you do the ending the book, the legend has, he disappears. You know what happened. But in this
Right.
one, you know what he was doing.
Right,
And
you
it's
know
just
exactly what he was
visually,
doing.
it's
Yeah.
way more compelling.
Sure, sure.
But at the same time, we also include historical fact pages
Yes.
in the comics,
Yes.
so you get to read the story.
And I think that that's a very important part of it that we need to continue. I think that is going to, because that's your extra, you know, yeah,
Here's those backwards.
yeah, and we put those at the end, and we've even talked about,
Has the legend of whatever it is,
yeah,
and then you can read about it.
we've even talked about maybe repositioning those as going with each of the story, you know,
Yeah.
coming after the stories or before this, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just format. That's just, you know, page count type stuff.
Right.
But I still think whatever way we decide to do it, that way or
Stay
the other
in there.
way, that portion is staying, because, and I just thought of this, guys. Did you know that EC Comics stood for 2 different things? The original, the dad, Bill Gaines' dad, Max Gaines, started the company, and it was called EC Comics. Stood for Educational Comics. He was doing historical comics and Bible stories and stuff. He was losing money from, I think it was in the red whenever Bill got a hold of it. Bill changed EC Comics from Educational Comics to Entertaining Comics. So what were we just talking about? We're wanting to do comics that both educate and entertain all in one thing. So even that we're going back to the EC formula, you know.
I don't think they contradict. I think if you're interested in the story, you'll look
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the history doing
Right.
that. But if you're not even interested, you'll probably never look into the history
Right.
anyway.
But you'll still be entertained
You'll
by
still
what
be
we got.
entertained.
And there's another cool element is that, and this is what I had started with, was try to travel in 82 counties in Mississippi, collecting and preserving history, but also try to boost tourism.
Right.
So these stories boost tourism as well, like the old tavern. We're telling a story about how this restaurant, this bar, is haunted, and she has themed glasses for
Yeah,
the
she had,
ghosts
she had
now.
a Halloween party where she had the what do they call her?
I have a hard time saying what she called.
Well, they have a name for the woman that she put her
She's called
image
the
on
bitter
there.
hooker. I just have a hard time saying that.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
they call her.
And she was on the glasses that they had, and so yeah, they were using our comic as like branding and sales for their local business. So it's like really cool to be able to
To help out the
to help
business,
out.
and
Sometimes it just takes a little extra boost to traffic. You know, people say traffic. Hearing that name, Old Tavern. COVID had hurt the business, she had said.
right.
Yeah.
And coming out of that, getting people to go back out and support local again.
Yeah.
This is an extra little boost. Honestly, when I'm traveling 82 counties, when I'm looking where to eat, I go to the places that has the best food. And the most history and coolest story.
Yeah. I kind
I
of do
appreciate
that. I kind of do that too whenever I go to different states and to do cons. I'll ask, and we go out. What's the best place to eat? What are you known for? Because I'm an adventurous eater to an extent. I like to try different things, and so I try to eat something authentic to that place. You know, everywhere I go. So
And if I hear a story about a haunted old tavern,
all the better. Right?
yeah, near the Capitol, and it's beautiful inside and out. And
Yeah.
you got the story of the Top Hat Ghost and the Hooker Ghost.
Right.
They have a drink themed after a ghost, and they're now selling the comic in the bar.
Right.
Hopefully,
And
that'll help them. And
yeah. Well, from the sound of it, she's probably going to be a good spokesperson for the comic itself. You know,
so that makes me feel really good that it serves an extra purpose as well.
Yeah, and one that you didn't really set out to do, but it happened that way organically. And that's that word organically is something I think is very much applicable to what we're doing here. I didn't know if that was on this thing. Hey guys. Hey, that's from a guy named Daryl, I think. I can read it right. Hey guys. So
Hello.
Yep. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
We're just chatting.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about this stuff. And so when I made it to Natchez one day, I saw that they had a Bigfoot festival.
Yes.
I was like, oh my goodness. They have a Bigfoot festival
How
every
many
year.
years ago was this? Was this recently or was it last year or
it was last year, I think might have been its second year. So this year will be, I think, its third year.
Okay.
And they had a radio DJ there. I think it's something to do with a gator as the DJ.
Okay.
He did some research because he loves similar things that we do, history and folklore and cryptids and things like that.
Right.
And this DJ, radio DJ in Natchez, discovered a French priest journal in which the Native Americans were afraid of some beast that was stealing the livestock there.
Right.
The priest said, "Oh, it's probably just a bear or a wolf," and the Native Americans stopped him. And they were like, "No, this is not a bear."
You don't understand, right?
Yeah, you don't understand. And the description of how it's happening, what been seen and heard, was exactly how Bigfoot is typically described.
Right.
And so the DJ said, well, when was the first ever mention of Bigfoot in North America? And this preceded all of them. So this is the first ever mention of Bigfoot is in Natchez, Mississippi.
So even outside the Pacific Northwest is being where Bigfoot is most commonly known for. That didn't happen until like the 50s with the footprints found by that construction site or whatever. And that's when the Bigfoot name. Before that, he was just called the Wild Man or whatever, or the Woods, or the booger. We call them boogers here, the Booger Man.
Right.
Yeah.
So this would have been like the 1720s.
Wow. Okay.
Very early, and there's plenty of Native American stories about Bigfoot type creatures and things like that. So they've turned it into a year-round festival, and it's fantastic.
That's amazing.
So these stories bring people out. People want to see them.
Right.
And they're a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And part of the festivities was a Bigfoot calling contest, which you entered.
I entered and I won.
You won.
Bigfoot Cup. And I pretty much just said, "Here, boy, here, boy," along with some screaming like I thought a Bigfoot would do.
Right.
I was happy to win. Add that to the resume.
Right.
But it was fun. And the mayor there was incredible.
Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Break for a second. So this gentleman that I talked to.
Yes.
So, yes.
Hey.
You want to see if you sign his book for him?
Sure. You got a Mississippi Macabre? Okay. Well, I'll sign it and then I'll send it to my daughter Lily so she
My
can sign it as
sister
well.
was in Pascagoula when all that was going on.
Oh, the Phantom Barber thing? Wow.
She was about 5 or 6 years old.
We just did an interview with WLOX a couple of weeks ago.
Only
I
reason I
guess.
found out about this, I don't watch WLOX, but I
I don't
have
either.
been watching it. Then they aired that story.
Oh, really?
You that did the talking on it.
Me and my daughter Lily did.
I
Right.
remember seeing you there. Thanks to you and my watching WLOX, I'm here getting it.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
So you were telling me your sister called him what at the time?
They call it haircut man.
The haircut man.
Some barber,
Yeah.
years and years later.
Yeah.
The haircut
The
man.
haircut man.
And they, like he said on that article, they had an idea about who it was. There was a barber in town.
So my son's name is
Yeah.
And everybody thought it was probably him, but nobody knew what he was doing with the hair.
Yeah.
And they all
Yeah.
swore
I'm
that
debating
it
on
was
whether or not
happening.
to go back.
Yeah.
This is the gentleman that wrote the story. Now, I was the artist for it. He was the
The
writer.
great grandson of Barbara.
Passed on down to Willie.
Get your information from.
So there
Several
weren't very
sources.
many articles, but the ones that we had, I think more have been released since this came out, like WLOX. But we
Yeah.
we had a couple articles that we read. We changed it up a little bit to make it more comic book visually. But there is a page at the back that has the history of the story. And so I think I wrote that one as well. But yeah, the Legend of the Phantom Barber. So it tells the real story that say
Well,
happened.
see, like I told you over there, I grew up hearing them talking about it. And really, mother and daddy worked in with the courts, and mother took on
you go,
board
sir.
from time to time. And they would, when they went to bed at night, and back then nobody locked their doors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No reason to, so. And they'd go to
Different world.
They said we'd go to bed at night. I hope the haircut man doesn't come tonight. And that was,
Beautiful, huh?
and she experienced that.
We didn't show this in the comic, but there was one part of it was he cut a screen out of the window of one of the attacks that he did,
Yeah.
and they found the screen cut, but he was gone. You know,
Well,
but that I remember those screens that we used to keep the bugs out.
My mother and daddy and kids, she had two boys at that time, and my sister was about 5 or 6, and they said that they did, or they could tell they were tagged.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, something was
They
that.
couldn't catch anybody, and then this barber that they all suspected, I think, he came up, his left hand,
Yeah.
and all of the
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
And they said that it had to have been him, but he was kind of a goofy character in it.
Yeah.
But they said they never could figure out what he did with the hair.
Yeah. We had some ideas of what we did with the hair.
Well,
I didn't want to spoil the ending for you.
well,
I don't want to spoil the ending.
Well, from our perspective, our
Yeah,
comic book
Yeah,
perspective.
comic book
Yeah,
version.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
to tell y'all this. My son, first thing he's been writing what he calls a movie.
There he is.
Like these little series that you see on TV. There'll be five series in the deal. You know, he's been writing one for about 3 years. You can keep looking at it. And he calls it The Realist, and it's based around a farming operation, and he's working in England, and he's traveled up into Canada and out in California.
How you doing, Tommy?
San Francisco Naval Base out
I am fabulous. How about you?
Hey man, we thought you had taken a bike ride.
I did. That was this morning.
Oh, you did?
In
In front of the TV, waiting to hear from you guys, and I dozed off a little bit.
He read what he had. Very interested in it, and they signed it.
I don't want to turn too loud. It'll pick that up.
Yeah, yeah, I can barely hear him, but
They signed all that stuff up. He wanted them.
I got you turned
This
up.
episode, send it to them,
Let me see.
and they will see.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
No, it's not you. I have to keep it moderately low, otherwise the microphone will
Yeah,
pick it up and start getting loud.
Arthur and the
Arthur and
artist.
artist, yeah.
I'm gonna get in the car and call my sister.
have a good one, man. So we got Tommy with us now. So, but we're all here, man. You got a blank look on your
Oh,
face.
that's
Are we
a-
like?
Great
is our
background you
feed,
got there.
yeah.
I-
He's still.
Coming out.
I don't remember the witch looking like that, Stephen. Is that a new version in for the issue 2?
Yeah, yeah. This is when she got a newfangled gun and decided she was going to be a
I don't know. I
superhero.
mean, it kind of looks
This is
like
what you got.
kind of looks like the Blue Beetle. I don't know if that's what
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah,
Going into the
she
future.
probably has beetles in her hair. You know.
Oh, he does.
You know. Now this is a Kickstarter commission that I'm doing for one of the backers.
Oh, that reminds me, we have a remark.
You're just now doing your Kickstarter commissions. I did mine before it was over.
I'm doing mine for the live stream.
Oh, okay, all right.
Plus, I've got a remark to do, which I got to have the comic to do it on. Right. So am I just doing it on a regular comic then, and not the blank? Okay, that would be something completely different, right?
You have some the sketch covers.
We do have sketch covers. We've had. Did anyone bring some to you? We had a couple buy them.
Lily's doing one.
Lily's doing one right now.
Yeah, Lily's sitting right by me.
Yeah.
And so,
hello, Lily.
Oh, hey, Tommy.
How you doing?
Good.
She's busy.
She's like a ghost voice. I can just hear her.
Disembodied voice.
Well, it's fitting
Yeah.
for what we're doing.
It works out for the book.
Yeah. So we're just sitting here talking about how we came about doing all this stuff, and how we're doing it with all Mississippi creators, and you qualify for that, even though you're not living in Mississippi now.
I grew up in Mississippi. I went to college in Mississippi. I spent all of my growing up life in Mississippi, and I still have relatives there. We visit 2 or 3 times a year, so
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be seeing you before the end of the year. You're probably
you
planning on coming
definitely
up
get
for
Christmas
Christmas
time.
time,
We'll
right?
be home for Christmas.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Neil, all right, I'm
Hang
staying
on
here.
Oh, am I talking to
I
somebody?
got you on speakerphone. You tell them a little bit
Tell
about
tell that gentleman in the background that he's on camera, so he ought to talk to people on the internet.
But we were all scared to death to even hardly go to sleep because the haircut man was out on the street.
Oh,
Wow.
And I remember it well, even though I was small. I remember when it was going on, and it was for real. I think there actually was a haircutting man down there. Loose on the streets of Pascagoula.
Ma'am, could I ask you this? Could I ask you a question about how long of a time period did the incidents happen? I mean, was it over a month or a couple of weeks, or what was the time period? Do you remember?
I think it lasted over several months.
Really?
Yeah, because I was a small child. I'm 87 today,
Wow.
but I was a small child.
oh, so that wasn't Steven doing the haircut.
I can remember that we were afraid, all the time there of the haircut, man. Possibly maybe a couple of months.
Right.
That
Right.
it went on.
Right.
And to my knowledge, they never found anybody. I was all excited about the book, the comic book,
Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. All of the creators are here, and they're hearing you now. So this has been a treat listening to a firsthand account of the story that we just drew.
Yeah.
We just did.
I was actually there at the time that was going on.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
All right.
I was cherished the book.
Well, thank you so much.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Neil, after we had talked and you were so interested in it, and I had just left the house, and I said, I'm gonna go call her, and I didn't think about letting you come and you explain what you remember to them.
Yeah.
But I think this is a treat for me and you
And
for
us,
them,
for
us
sure.
to get somebody
Definitely.
that was there when it was going on.
Thank you so
All right.
much for that info. Thank you.
Enjoyed it again.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it for sharing that.
Hey, Steven.
Wow.
Well, you
That's
live
cool.
in Pascagoula.
I live in Loosedale.
Loosedale.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all ever need any illegal drugs? I have
What?
You're live.
Internet.
back bay drugs in the
Oh, okay.
island.
All right.
They're all legal.
What's
All
he
right.
got?
He said legal drugs, Tommy. Just said,
What's he got? What's he got? Ask him what he's got.
what's he got? Sound like you got a little bit of
Steven,
everything.
did you tell that lady that was on the phone that was your great uncle, the one that was cutting all the hair from all
My
the
great uncle.
Well, the thing about that, though,
I didn't know it lasted so long.
well,
you know?
it would last beyond even when the last happened, because
Really?
that's something that's ingrained in your memory.
Yeah.
Everyone would be scared.
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
Months,
yeah.
You know what that
maybe
reminded me of?
years.
What she was, Son of Sam, the Son of Sam killer. That's exactly what happened there. It was girls, because he targeted a specific age, specific look, and they were. I'm like, I saw a thing where girls said I put a hood on my head or I dyed my hair just to, and they didn't want to go out during that time, you know.
I think
But it was also like
wasn't it?
it was also a summer of blackouts that went on in New York whenever that was
Phantom
going on.
Barber
It was
wanted all the
weird.
hair color he could
Yeah.
get.
Y'all,
Well, don't give it away, but it's, that's a key part of the story.
did y'all hear her voice? I think she may have been the witch.
You think so?
Yeah, the lady sounded just like, I think she was fooling y'all. She was.
She had that definite authentic call.
I think that was her.
We were just talking about the history and making sure like things didn't steer too far from the history. And then I get up and go over there, and he's like, "My sister was there."
Right,
and I was
right.
like, "Oh no!"
And you see how it was important for her to get a book.
Yeah,
she said she would cherish it.
Yeah.
And the reason is that these are stories that, no matter what kind of stories they are,
right.
that's part of your growing up, your childhood memories.
She said she was 87.
87.
And so
still,
we know that our comic is going to reach wide.
At least all the 87-year-olds. That'll work.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
At least one.
Our target audience.
That's really neat.
Yeah. Was not expecting that.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a highlight.
So it was kind of like a call-in. We had a call-in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a radio show
for
now.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a call from.
But I feel like we're gonna keep getting that the more we do local stories that people, really experience. When we do the UFO story,
oh shit!
That'll be everybody.
Yeah, you can imagine what that was going to be. What that's going to be like.
And some are beyond local too, like Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I mean, people have Bigfoot everywhere. So.
Yeah, that's going to have a lot of crossover appeal,
Yeah.
But I mean, we have literally pushed this thing even without having a physical. Now we've got it, but before that, we would tell everybody about it at all the different shows that we did, and there's a lot of interest in it, So.
Yeah, people want us to come to their towns now, tell this story, tell that story. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And
every town's got a story.
Yes, and having the actual physical product out there is that lends you legitimacy, to be able to do that. Because I mean, like I said, everybody's got a story, but we're collecting them, So anyway,
I like that she told us that they called him the
haircutting man.
The haircutting man.
That is something that I haven't heard.
Right. But it fits the time period.
Absolutely.
Phantom Barber would not. That wouldn't even be a word that people would use, or barber even. He's a haircut man.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Makes it even more real.
Yeah.
And creepier.
Right.
When you hear it. Something about simple ways of saying something, like the ghost of the old tavern. The lady that owns the tavern, they said that they don't have a name for him. What should you call him? She wanted to know what to call him, right? Because they've seen a man, as depicted in the story in the comic, in a top hat.
Right.
And me and Blake were sitting around thinking about it, and I was like, we could come up with something that sounds wild and cool, but sometimes simpler is better.
Right.
He's the top hat ghost.
Top hat man. Yeah. Top hat ghost.
It's just, sometimes simpler is, because that's what he is.
Right.
We don't know his name. We don't know who he is.
Right.
But we know he wears a top hat.
Right.
He's a ghost. Something creepy.
Similar
and
to
real.
the Disney, the Haunted Mansion has a top hat ghost, right? I mean, that's like
hat box.
Hat box.
Hat box ghost is this?
Really?
Well, the 3 hitchhiking ghosts, they have names, but the one you're talking about is the hat box ghost.
Yeah, you need to be here. Scott got a head that like sings, and it's
really?
it's in his room. It's not him; it's another one of them, but it's pretty cool. So what you got going on today, man?
Me?
What was you?
I got about 17, 18 miles in biking this morning out in the woods.
Okay.
Mountain bike stuff, and then that's about it. that I needed to get back, so I can make sure I can jump onto this and contribute a little bit because I couldn't be there.
Yeah.
And but no, this is it. I'm done for the day.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
have you figured out if you're calling those hurricanes your way or shooing them away?
Oh God, let's not talk about it anymore.
They're not.
Those
I thought it.
hurricanes.
I know they're not coming up our way because we have like a cold front, but
Yeah.
or at least they say it's a cold front. I don't feel it, but anyway, I mean, what's the latest projection? It's not.
It actually this one just looks like it's going to hang around Mexico and Cuba and stuff down there. So I think we're all right for all of us, y'all, and
yeah. I hope.
I hope it's done. But we still, I mean, hurricane season lasts basically to the end of the month.
Does it? Okay, that was my next question because here we are, right in smack dab in the middle of November, and you're still getting them.
It's just that we had those two, the one that went right over my house, and then the one that went right up the coast. So,
right.
Yeah,
right.
I'm about done with them for this season. I don't mind them too much, but I've had enough. That's enough.
Right.
With this fresh on my mind, this Mississippi Macabre and all these stories and history. Just the other day, I read history about we used to have an island out by the barrier islands called the Isle of Capri.
Oh, okay.
And
what the casino is named after, or
I don't know what the casino is named after, but basically there's a Native American legend about it that it would resurface and disappear for certain reasons.
Well,
really?
And it makes sense that it would be. Well, it disappeared after people were having a hurricane party on the island, and they were told not to be there. And it was during a time, I think it was during Prohibition times. We weren't supposed to drink. They'd sneak out there and drink.
That would have been 1920s.
And they had a huge party, and the hurricane came, and the island disappeared,
right,
along with the people in it.
Yeah, the people on the island.
See, I didn't know that it was.
That could be a good little story. We need a hurricane story.
They would go there. Yeah, they had like a hotel there.
Yeah, wow.
It was like a spot, and every so often it resurfaces. And it is a Native American legend that it resurfaces at certain times, and but the history out there is just incredible, and the things that people don't know that's even living in the town sometimes they don't even know about. But yeah, that one was pretty interesting.
Wild.
What is the island that's out there for when you get in Gulfport and you take the little ferries out? Is that Ship Island? Something
Ship and Horn, and
it's got a fort, right? If I remember right, there's a fort out there.
Ship Island does, yeah. A lot of stories about Ship Island.
Check out and see what kind of ghost stories are going on out there.
Oh, there are.
Well, of course there are. They got to be.
Yeah, like even Petty Boy used to be a part of Dolphin Island.
Yeah, yep.
And hurricanes split them in half, creating two different islands. But before it did, it used to be called Massacre Island from all the bones that were found on that island.
Lordy.
So, oh goodness, there's tons of history out there. But
that even the name of that screams. You
Bone
gotta do it.
Yeah, there's tons of spooky stuff out there.
Now, what was the island that remember I told you I was reading a story about the old hermit that lived on an island, and he worked at, there was a movie theater there, or maybe not a movie theater, but something like
it's either cat or horn.
Yeah, and he lived, and it wasn't really a spooky story, but just the fact that this old man lived on this island until he was really old, and just chose to live remotely like that, even when it was. What now? I'm talking about here. Yeah.
Many such cases of old men living on islands.
Yeah, but this guy, I read it in a magazine that me and your mom got whenever we were in Natchez. Yeah, and I forget the guy's name, but he was a pretty well known guy, in the area during that time. 1980s, I guess it was.
John Galot,
Yes, that was him. That was him.
Deer Island,
Okay.
for 38 years. People lived on Cat Island as well. There was a lady that lived out there, and they did not come to the mainland, like, at all. I know she did it. She never came to the mainland. Sometimes she would get things if people
Sent
happened to
to
come.
her? Okay.
Yeah, but she never came to the mainland.
And that was by choice.
By choice.
Yeah. Wow.
Fascinating. There was someone that got stuck out there at Ship Island for like a week
Oh,
a couple
wow.
of years ago, and he missed the boat back or something.
Oh, no.
No, I know what it was. His ship was anchored, but something happened and it floated away, and he was out there for a week.
He was just stuck there.
Yeah, he was stuck there
Wow.
until they found him.
And there's nothing out there.
No,
he
there's
had to
nothing.
subsist.
And
on
as at
what
a
he could
time when
find.
nobody went there, he dug a trench. He said the biggest thing was the sand would start blowing and hitting him. It would just feel like it was just
Right.
cutting him after a while.
Right.
And he dug a trench and would sleep inside that trench. so
Oh
that the
my
wind-
goodness.
Yeah, it was.
What
it
a
was really
thing.
bad.
Now that's not the island where they have pigs and stuff living on it. I'm asking this because I know in Katrina, I heard about pigs getting washed up on the mainland from one of them
There's
alligators.
alligators. There he is.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a story right
I
there.
know.
That's like Tarzan or something.
Yeah.
Is that Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch is right behind us.
Hey, Mitch, how you doing?
You might as well come on out here and join this thing. Well, he says hey, by the way. But anyway,
We've had a good turnout today.
yes, we have. We've been selling those books left and right today.
That's great.
Yeah.
This
Well, I've signed a bunch of them, so I'm assuming that they're being
hopefully they
sold.
were sold.
Yeah.
Just got lifted. One thing that I was surprised by in a good way is I didn't realize how many people want every single cover.
Yes.
Like they wouldn't
Yes.
buy one.
They want everything. The whole, like, it's a collector mentality,
Yes.
that's coming there. It's like, I want one of everything, that
Yeah,
you're
I
doing.
think if you don't do like 10, 15 different covers, if you do 3 or 4 like we did, I think that's the way to go. You don't do like a zillion covers like
Because you're not oversaturating it.
Right.
Still doing the 4 covers is still within the people's pocketbook, So anyway, something to think about for continuing on,
Would we want to do? It's interesting to think about. If you continue to do it, would you do one for each story? Basically, if you, had
You
4
could,
stories.
if you wanted to go that route, I mean, that's kind of sort of what we did here. I mean, we got the Witch of well, we didn't do one for the Phantom Barber, but we got the Witch of Yazoo, we got the Tavern, and then the one that we did, the one with the skull on the fence post was just basically an overall, just something to show you that we're talking about weird stories,
That one is, to me, really seems.
Yeah,
to-
you said that it grew on you over the time because
grew
it's
on
telling
me.
a story, a mystery,
Yeah, it
Who's-
is.
Where'd that skull come from? Why's it got a bullet hole in the middle? I don't know, but I know that it's telling a story of something,
It screams Mississippi Macabre. to
Yeah,
me,
yep.
And it doesn't seem as individualized towards one story.
Yeah.
It's Mississippi. It's Macabre.
I even know
it's
what
everything.
Lily put that fog in there. I'm like, okay, I know that's like 6:30 in the morning
Yeah.
when that shot is being taken
Oh,
place
yeah. Absolutely.
because of the fog that the mist that we get up here.
Absolutely.
That I drive my wife to work every morning in.
I have stopped before. I drive back and forth from Hattiesburg.
Yeah,
to
man.
Goshen every day.
That's
Monday
a
through Friday.
drive, boy.
And there have been times when I have passed by these just really cool scenes where that fog is lifting off those ponds and
yep.
lakes and
Mhm.
little valleys. And
Yep.
I saw a wolf standing on one of them one time.
Wow.
It looked like Coyote. But,
Yeah.
But it was just sitting there serene, staring right at me.
Right.
But one day I said, you know what? I'm going to quit passing them by. And I literally pulled over on the side of the road and I messaged my boss. I said, I'm going to be an hour late today.
Yeah.
I took off an hour and I went out there and took it in.
Yeah.
I took a couple pictures, but just took it in.
While it was
While
still
it's
there
coming
and
up,
lifting.
because
Yeah.
it doesn't last that long.
No.
Like a sunset or
Yeah.
a sunrise, you know.
Mhm.
But I stopped to actually take it in, and it was really neat. Then you got that Mississippi snow, which is the frost on the
Yeah.
ground.
Right. That's the only snow Mississippi
Or at
hardly
least
ever
down
sees.
here. You
Yeah.
know.
I remember one time it snowed whenever I was a kid. I was actually able to make a snowman that lasted for over a day, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't remember last time it snowed here. It's been Lily remembers it, but it didn't really stick, you know, that well. But,
It's gonna happen.
oh yeah.
It's definitely gonna happen.
Well, I've sat here and just about finished this commission. And whenever I finish this, I'm going to start working on our initial drawing of our Native American werewolf character.
That's
that
exciting.
we're going to be debuting in issue number 2.
Yeah.
And so, which again is going to be based on a true, quote unquote, true legend type of thing, but it will take its own identity from our imagination.
Yes.
Because it's a vague story that
Yes.
hasn't really been extrapolated on that one.
Yeah. Stephen's been wanting a werewolf story.
Yeah. Because I like to draw them.
He's asked me, have you found anything about a werewolf in Mississippi? And I have found some similar, you know, dogman type stories, but nothing that just really screamed out to me. And I really wanted to find something. And believe me, I've actually found every kind of story, all the way to an Egyptian mummy reference to Mississippi, if you can believe it. Vampires and everything else, but not a really solid werewolf story. And then I started looking through my notes and I found a legend that really fit to a T. And I already had the storyline in my head. But the creature, the monster, was never called a werewolf, but he was a man covered in hair, scaring people in the swamps and the woods, all of the elements that scream werewolf. I was like, just because it hadn't been called a werewolf, it hadn't connected to me quite yet. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is absolutely it. Yeah. And we're taking it in a particular direction. The ties to Native American history, and we're excited.
Yeah. We're taking it in the direction of creating a character that we can use for future stories, and like this isn't just he has the potential to be more than just a one-off character, you know. So
yes,
and we decided to make him Native American because, well, we just thought that it would be cool and different, you know. I don't know of any other Native American werewolf character. At least maybe there is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning. At least in super popular terms, I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. And as I collected things around the state, a lot of times Native American stories get left out.
Yeah,
characters get left out. Spirits of certain animals are incredibly important to them. Wolf being one of them.
Yes.
The county or the Mississippi Band of Choctaw out Philadelphia way, it's called Neshoba. And I didn't know this. Stephen looked it up.
I just Googled. I said, "What's Choctaw for wolf?" And it's Neshoba.
So it was.
I like. Okay, that's his name. That's what we're calling it.
So it all fit perfectly, and super excited. And I'm working with a couple of different Native American tribes in Mississippi for a couple of our stories that have Native American characters and settings to make them authentic, to make them respectful.
Right.
And what I told one particular group is, I want you to love this character. I want you to be proud of it. This is almost a superhero type character that everyone would love, but this is of your people, so we're hoping to get it just like you would like it. So a lot of research is involved and a lot of talking. I'm one of the types that I never assume that I'm going to find something that other people haven't. So I go to the experts who know that stuff. So I've been working with experts in that field, and they've been super helpful. And I'm excited to see the show.
Well, I can see him in my head. I just haven't put him down on paper yet, but soon, because I'm almost
So what does that
done.
feel like?
I'm almost done.
Do you get, like, what is your excitement level when you have an idea in your head, but you haven't drawn it yet, and then you draw it for the first time? Is it as exciting?
I feel like I got to draw it, because if I don't draw it, I'll overthink it, and it'll never get done, So once I've drawn it, once it's become an actual thing, then I'm locked in to that, to that thing. But so that's why it's important to put it down on paper.
Is it exciting to where, like, when you see it after you've done it, and you're like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I created
What's cool
this.
also is, and I've done this before working, and Tommy knows because he's worked on plenty of stuff. When you design a character and then some other artist is drawing it for the book later, later on down the road. That's pretty cool. Like I created a character for Archie Comics called Daisy Thunder, and she's kind of like they basically said they wanted her to be what was the girl from Happy, Fonzie's girlfriend from Happy Day, Pinky Tuscadero or something like that, or whatever her name was. And they kind of wanted that look. She's a race car driver, so kind of like that speed racer kind of a character. But her name is Daisy Thunder, Days of Thunder, kind of character. And Lily was the one that gave her pink hair. So she did the color. She did the color choices. So anyway, now other artists are drawing her. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see that happen, because she was nothing until we came up with the look of it. So anyway,
well, even with the Witch,
cool.
When you did the Witch, for the Witch of Yazoo, other artists started wanting to draw,
doing their own versions,
right?
I'll think about it.
But they all kind of kept elements.
She still has that wild hair and the same eye, the pop eye that comes out.
And it kind of, that was really
teeth,
neat.
And everybody has their own unique style, but she still has recognizable traits.
You immediately know this is the Witch of Yazoo, which is really cool. And that kind of took off because a lot of times we weren't asking for it. People wanted to draw her. Really
I think they knew how important she was by us telling them she's going to be introducing the story. She's basically our crypt keeper kind of a character. And so, Tommy, you're going to be inking the one that Mitch did for.
I know. I thought I would have it by now. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, we'll have to talk to Scott about that. Mitch got it right there. Scott's just got to scan it and send it to you. You want me to tell him to do that today?
Sure.
Give you something to do. He's got it right here. Get that right in. I'll show it to the camera.
Awesome.
Yeah, Blake. I don't even think Blake's seen that. So
it is awesome.
So this is a sneak peek from the second issue. This is done by my longtime buddy. Good Lord, how in the world? There it is.
You got it upside down. Keep turning. Keep turning. The camera's facing above you.
Anyway, this is done by my good buddy Mitch Byrd, long-time co-worker friend, and he's doing the. Oh man, you've done even more than the last time. I love the floating eyeballs. Well, that could be eyeballs, or it could be like really big olives. I'm gonna say it's eyeballs. In the she's a witch. Hello. She's not going to be, unless she's an Italian witch, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the matzo balls is what.
Right. But anyway, she's cooking this potent stew here. I love all the little extra stuff. She's got a snake going behind the counter back there, the cabinet, and just all kind of witchy stuff going on in there. So
if,
so yeah, this is what you're going
if
to
you
be
hand it
looking at.
back to Mitch, he'll just keep adding more and more stuff to make it harder for me
Yeah,
to use.
right. So that'll just be more stuff for you to ink on. And there's a lot of black, like he's doing the black foreground elements with the rafters and the things, and then a lot of real moody, real moody type piece.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it looks like you had some stuff up here that you erased that was on top of the cabinet or something. Oh, okay. So you just want to leave that blank without, yeah. Oh, okay, all right. No, right. But so yeah, you can leave it up to, like he's got a rat right here. You could do him silhouette. I don't know if you can see it right here, Tommy. But it's like a rat right here, so that'll be silhouette. And you could probably make a lot of this at dark, because it's in the shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow. So anyway, you'll have a lot of fun with it, and maybe have some of this, some of the juice. I don't know what else to call it. Some of the juice dripping down from the pot. It would be really cool. But yeah, and like Lily, when Lily colors this, she could. Well, of course, she's going to be coloring it. It's going to be page 1 of the second issue. She could make the steam digitally, and make it look really, really cool. Yeah. So it looks like you got some kind of like a flower, a plant or something hanging from the.
Well, I was supposed to an old like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
You fill it with a water thing. You filled with some
Yeah.
arsenic.
Yeah.
And you put some sugar water.
Oh, very cool. Yep.
And
All right.
slides will go in there and they just,
Sure. We'll trap them.
make sure the kids didn't drink it.
Yeah. That's why she's got it lifted up. Well, I don't reckon she would matter. It wouldn't be a problem with her if the kids drank it or not. Right? She'd want them to. But anyway, that's a sneak peek for the second issue introductory page. So
we didn't decide. Am I gonna blue line ink it, or Scott sending it to me to ink on the paper?
I'll ask him, but he'll probably just email. I mean, you can ink it on blue line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably just scan it and send it to you that way. He's got the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Say hey to Tommy. Brian's
who's
here.
that?
Okay.
He didn't want to talk to me.
He's going to get something.
Yeah.
I think
he's going to get up out of there. Is where he's going.
He's way across the room.
This is awesome.
So, yeah,
it's
so cool. What is this paper? It's Blue Line Pro. Golly, you used to work for that guy. That did
I don't even think they exist
for his magazine. Yeah, Mitch used to do like a how to draw type feature for his magazine. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's going to be all in silhouette. You'll see the shape. Come say hey to Tom.
What's up?
There he is. Now you can see yourself.
Oh, and I could see myself.
You're scary, dude.
Have you been signing as many of these as we have today?
Pretty good bit.
Yeah. It's been going really well. Hey, how you doing?
Made it back.
You sure did. I remember you from the last time we were here. When you thought we were going to be here before. You got some comics you want us to sign?
Please.
Yeah, bring them on. Bring them on over. Is that a black and white? Holy smoke!
Oh, that's just.
No, this is a print.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a. God, here we go again with the crazy. Okay, there we go. Well, no, it's
back and forth.
We're able to see it on that screen for the people. We're doing a live stream now, and so this was a print that was made from the cover that I drew. This one here. Is it that one? Yes, it's that one. Hard to tell. Everything's backwards. But anyway, I didn't know that this first one of these I've signed. So anyway.
Continuously working, like this will be in, I guess, the next.
Yeah, this is our front first page, and yeah, Mitch drew that. Mitch drew that one.
It's just in the early stages.
And then Tommy, who's on the screen here, he's in Orlando. He's actually He's the co-owner of Kablam Digital Printing that printed the comics. So, and he's from here as well. He's from New Augusta. So.
It's amazing to see how many steps and I teach comics in my English class, and even I didn't know how.
Now you can sure enough teach
I
it.
sure enough teach it because I see every little step.
Right.
And
You know how much
incredible.
goes into it.
Yes, so much work, and it's just incredible. I love to see it.
Hey, Steven,
Yeah,
you know what my signature looks like, right?
kind of, sort of, yeah.
Here, sign that for me.
Well, I mean, you're going to be coming back up here, so
Oh,
now
yeah, all right,
we'll have to take another
I'll
trip
come
to
over for
put your
Christmas and
signature on.
we'll do a.
Yeah,
I'll come to the shop and we'll do another little
see,
sign.
like I said, 6:30 in the morning, right there.
Yeah, that's it.
That's that morning Mississippi morning fog.
That's exactly right. We take stuff for granted too. Like I met someone who had moved from Mississippi out to California, and he said the thing he missed the most was the thunder.
The thunder,
He said you don't hear thunder
really?
where he was in California.
You
They
flat
don't know.
shore here.
Yeah.
Wake you up in the middle of the night,
Yeah, sure
make
will.
your hair stand up on your head. My wife, we live in the woods, and I remember one night my wife jumped up scared. My babies. You know what she was hearing? There was a screech owl that was right behind our window, literally, and he went off, and loud. I mean, it was loud, and she thought it sounded just like one of the kids crying.
That was Lily trying to sneak into the house. And came up
She
to
would
us.
have been like really little whenever that happened.
Well, you know,
But she
Lily's
was
crazy
literally
like
up
that.
out of
She
the
does
bed,
it.
covers flying everywhere. She said, my babies, they're screaming. And I'm like, it's just an owl, baby. Crazy stuff. You're talking about coyotes earlier. We have, oh wow, check that out. That's our, here, I got to take it out of the thing.
It's even
I don't want you to sign it through the
This
plastic.
is the first time I've seen this one. There we go. Shiny.
You haven't seen the metallic books yet?
Yeah, come on, man. I can't do
It's
it.
not. The camera's shooting down at your lap, Steven. There you go.
Well, it's still sideways. See?
Well, because you're sideways. I don't
not
know.
a white type person.
There you go. Right there.
How about that? All right. That's cool. That's
You gotta shift it a little bit so the
oh,
silver.
okay. This is our official logo that we made, and this was done on shiny. What is it called? Hollow foil? No, it's not hollow foil.
Metallic.
It's just shiny metallic foil.
Yeah.
It's a metal cover. Remember, you're supposed to put metal
Metal
covers.
cover. I think
Metal.
that's what they
Right.
called it.
There's a story there.
No, he said somebody got upset.
Hey, we're not talking. We don't. Shush.
Yeah, we're live. Remember?
Scott's trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, buddy.
Try it. I won't do it.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all can all get Lily to sign that as well. So you got two of these, huh?
Yeah, there's a big fan.
Brian, what you working on?
I see what he's working on. He's drawing the witch.
Oh.
She's pointing at you.
She's kind of pretty.
Thank you.
Wait, you know what we can use that for? We can use that for our letters page. I don't know if you've ever thought about that before, but Marvel Comics, Scott can tell you all about it. Used to have letters pages for each one of their comics, and they all had catchy titles.
We can do this too once you draw.
Well, that's probably better than my face.
Oh, we don't want to see his lap. Gross.
Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this right quick. There we go.
We got you.
Now let's look at your crotch.
He's keeping it covered.
You,
mirror and everything.
Where's Tommy at?
There you go. He's right there. He's on the screen. Tony's here. She's waving. Hey.
Hey, Tony, what's up?
You can show them the ring you got from Belize. Oh, from never mind.
Yeah, he's the guy that painted over my drawing. This was my drawing and he painted directly over it.
He forgave me for it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's more. So you want him to sign it as well? Yeah. Well, we can all sign. Well, I did the layout.
I worked in Yazoo City for a year and a half, so I'm familiar with the story.
Oh wow.
So you've
that's
been to the
great.
grave and everything?
Yeah,
I
Zoo.
knew where the graveyard was, but I never saw the.
Yeah.
It's really neat. It's really eerie, but really cool. It's,
Well,
you
look,
see the chain
that
walking
whole
around.
part of town is just eerie. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, it is.
That place looked like it was deserted in like
I got it.
1950. You know, it's,
It's a neat cemetery too. It's really pretty.
Well, that was a bunch of books. That was great.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like we said, a lot of these guys are getting all the covers. So very few. We've just signed one copy.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he's a writer, and then Lily is the everything elser. Literally, letterer, colorist.
Brian, it looks like you're flipping us off there with your hand.
You want to sign with
Doesn't
the
mean
gold?
to, sorry.
Okay. Well, it's got a lot of dark spots, places, and Blake needs to sign them too.
You get back to me.
Okay. Oh, I'm almost done with this one. You have a very unique hand. Do that again. Look at this, Lil. You literally lead with your middle and third finger.
I know.
That's
what happens when you teach yourself. I started early.
And you hook your pointer finger. That is
I'm
wow.
on the spot, live on camera.
Oh, really? See, I study people's handwriting, how they hold, and there's comic artists are full of unique, and that's one of the more unique ones.
Believe it or not, I wanted to write before I was ever taught how to write.
Right.
And I remember taking those little bitty tiny notebooks that flip over.
Right.
I remember going outside as a very little child and writing a story about monsters.
Okay.
Before
Started young.
I even knew how to write.
Right.
So before I put it back in, this is everybody, right?
You haven't got Blake. Blake's the writer. He's the guy in the whatever color. I'm colorblind.
Good-looking man over there.
Yeah.
Looks like
The young guy.
Gotcha.
He's the driving force behind the Jackson Comics. It's publishes this thing.
okay, so let's make sure we got all of our editions.
And I think with him you'll have well
We got another one to sign.
yes, and
And Lily is.
you'll need Lily's you'll need Lily's signature on those as well. Okay, so Blake already got this one.
I mean, if you wanted, I could have signed Stephen with that.
Yeah, he's a pretty good forger. You know who else is a good forger? My wife. I don't think I signed a single check since I've been married
Here's Lily.
to her. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lily to do her.
Like on these, but you might.
Won't let Steven see your handwriting. Now you hold the pen now. He's
Yeah, that's right. That's
No, I know
I mean,
mine's weird.
look how Brian's drawing. Now that I've done many times before, but where you're holding it all underhanded, and it just gives you a different. But it's the way he's shading. It's the way he's doing his shading. That's a dark. Is that one of those like ebony pencils?
No, this is a
like an 8B or something.
8B.
It's,
Oh yeah, and
is it?
It's not. Yeah, 8B. It's not shiny at all. That's one reason I like it.
Yeah. At first, I said, "Are you inking that?" Because that's how dark it is.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even. And now with today's technology, you could print that. You could print it, and it would even show all the underdrawing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
I'm about to order another.
How are you
box.
planning on doing that UFO story like that?
Tony was going to show you.
Yeah, these guys are like champing at the bit to see some of that UFO story illustrations. You know,
You saw something?
Somebody has something.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
but yeah, I think what would be cool is to use this for the letters column or a bullpen bulletin type of thing where, and it needs to have some kind of a cool, catchy, witchy sounding title, you know, for it as well. Something alliterative or something.
Yeah.
I love I'd never thought about giving her an earring, but that's so cool.
Make sure it's a stretchy ear.
Yeah. One of those long earlobe things. Yeah, I love the Bernie Wrights and spit between the teeth. Bernie Wrights and Mike Krug, all those guys. Have I signed these? Yeah. No, I did sign it. I signed
It's
it.
tricky to know who's.
I signed that one down there. I'm not sure I signed this one yet, though. I haven't.
We did have it was 90 something dollars.
I can do it. I think all of these here
Okay.
I drew too many fingers at first.
He started counting after the fact. Oh, I got 6 fingers.
Yeah.
She does.
It's the 6-fingered man. He killed my father. Prepare to die. Kids wouldn't have a clue what we're talking about. Yeah. The name is Inigo
I
Montoya.
used to teach that book and film in my class.
Oh,
So I
really?
made sure if you knew it. And that actor for that scene,
That Mandy Patinkin?
yeah, he had lost his father before
Oh,
that.
really?
Before that scene, and so the man he's after, he envisioned it was cancer that killed his father. So when you see him, he's got tears in his eyes. After he filmed that scene, he went outside
real.
and
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
gave everything he had.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Mine too.
And I can't get my kids, so no, I'm talking about the
Princess Bride.
Yeah, the eighth
That's because
I love the premise of Princess Bride and how it starts out with the granddad, right, and the kid,
That's right.
and how he's like, well, look, you really want me? Because he didn't want to hear it, and then it got to where it's, you got to tell me, because he was about to stop doing it, in the middle. I loved how they would go back and forth between
In the book,
the story.
it's actually extreme. Like they take it even further.
Oh yeah.
And in the end of the book, it doesn't end. It doesn't tell you what happens to anybody.
Oh really?
And so there's a running joke that they're going to continue it in part 2. And I think every year to this day, there's a website for Princess Bride where they're announcing the second issue's coming out, and then it never does.
Right.
It's just a running joke that they never finish. But they're both great.
Did you?
And then the stars of the show, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Wesley and Buttercup.
Right.
They actually started a relationship in the show, but he wanted to go on.
She married. That was Robin Wright, right? She married Sean Penn, I think.
Sure, it was Robin.
She did Forrest Gump, right? She was.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the Run Forrest. Yeah.
But at the time, she was going to be the next big thing.
Right.
And he wanted to be a movie star. And so they eventually broke up. She had a family and came back at it later. But they have on-screen real life romance, and then all the stories about Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah.
They all loved it.
Oh yeah.
They said that outside when it was raining, he would just hold his hand above her head and shield her.
I sealed her like an umbrella.
Yeah.
That's wild.
They all loved him.
I loved the guy that played Vicini. Yeah, inconceivable.
He's so good. Now that guy was terrified of heights.
Oh really?
The scene where they're climbing the rock face
up
to the top.
Yeah.
I think Andre the Giant's carrying him up.
Yeah.
But He said, "Don't worry, little guy, I got you." Like in real life.
Right.
And he made him feel at ease.
Yeah. That's wild. That is so wild.
And then, what is it called? The rodents? R-O-U-S?
Unusual size, yes.
They needed someone that would fit into the costume. And the only person they could get was someone who was in jail. So they got him released from prison to get into the costume and be the ROUS.
I wonder if he could put that off, working off my time.
It's a classic. It's so good.
Can they see what you're drawing,
Well,
Ron?
I was just
Oh, there you
showing-
go. Yeah, he's got you on the screen there.
Yeah, I'm just
I
showing
see.
Tony.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm drawing it from weird angles, so it's
I just figured you like to draw upside down like that.
I guess sometimes you get to trick your brain too. So.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Y'all seen me ink. I flip the paper all kind of different directions when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Well, to ink, it kind of, not forces you to do it, but I mean, I do that too.
Oh yeah.
I remember one guy, I can't remember who it was. He said, "Oh no, you never do that. You keep it straight up and down, and you move around it." I'm like,
no.
Everybody does their own thing different. I spin.
Yeah.
I broke my hand, so I learned how to draw with my left hand for about a week, and then I got how to do it.
I think I heard that Frazetta did that. I think he did he have a stroke?
Yeah,
I think,
he had a stroke.
and he had to teach himself how to use his other hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was left-handed and had to learn how to do it
Well,
right-handed or the other way around.
Sarah Frazetta said it was a true story. So.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean but you didn't, because he kept doing work after that, and you couldn't see a decline in quality.
No.
So you actually got to see. Brian went to the Frazetta Museum, right? And where's it? Is it Tampa?
Boca Raton.
Okay, and so you got to hang out with the daughter and the granddaughter.
Yep.
And so you got to see some of the original art.
Yeah, I went there twice.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you had kind of like a little like demonstration type of thing that you did with them.
Yeah. I was
Because
giving.
is Sarah like an aspiring artist herself?
Yeah, I was giving her some pointers.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was kind of blowing my mind. I didn't think that would ever happen.
I remember right after that, I got on my Facebook. I got a friend request from Sarah Frazetta. I'm like, what in the world? Is this real or is this just a fake? And I said, wait a minute, no, it's real, because he had just went to visit her. I'm like, yeah, I think I got name dropped.
Oh, about these metal covers.
Yes, metal covers.
What about them?
We've been signing them.
Are they real metal?
They surely are. Actually, yeah. If you take a magnet up to them, you'll see the magnet sticks to them.
Are they metallic or metal?
They're hardened steel, kind of like.
Can I weld with them?
You can weld to them. Yes.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Now Brian Polito really does those metal covers, but they're all glued onto actual like cardstock paper.
Yes.
And he had one of his guys. He told me whenever I was there, he said, "No, so and so, that was his job to go out and attach the metal plates, I guess, the printed plates to the actual cover." And because they're very, they only do a handful.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of labor involved with that.
Yeah, but heavy. Yeah, they're. You could definitely tell.
Did they give you any to bring home?
I got a few. Yeah, but I hadn't sold any. I think I gave Scott one or two. Yes. Like this one right here. I mean, this is the. Oh wait.
It's the shiny.
There you go. That's the angle. You got it.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
So that's the metallic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Chrome.
over here.
Yeah. Where am I at? Oh, okay. Lily, she signed it.
Yeah, if you got your little magnet out, you could put it to it It actually has some metal in it. I mean, not a lot.
Oh, the magnet will stick to it, or does it have an attraction?
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's not much, but they're definitely.
Oh, yes, that's right. You did this one.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Car
Get my
keys.
cardigan out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show Krista. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, Brian, that's Liz.
Yeah, I told him we need to use that for like a little pin bulletin type thing.
I'll sign these first.
Yeah, I need you to.
Something. Letters, columns, something. We need to use it for something.
I was sitting down and said, I better do something with the recording related to this.
Yeah, yeah.
She's gonna
Okay,
hand you one
wait,
more to
hang on.
sign.
There we go.
Thank you.
Get Brian to sign it.
He was that?
He did.
He signed it.
Okay. Looking out for you, Brian.
I think
This one's for Andy Childress. So.
Oh, cool.
He messaged me asking if I'd snag him one.
Who is that talking now?
Tommy's talking to you.
Oh wait.
I'll let her introduce herself.
Huh?
Hey, Tommy.
Oh hey Tommy.
Hey,
It's
sweetie,
Krista.
how you doing?
I can't hear him.
I can't either.
I said, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I am fine. I'm fine. We'll see you guys at Christmas. I'm sure we'll come over when we're home for the week.
Oh heck yeah! Yay! Yay!
Yippee!
He's getting comics signed for various and sundry different people. So, and Brian is using every kind of he is using a carpenter's pencil right now. One of those flat.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
you know what inspired me to use this?
You ran out of regular pencils?
No. I like working really small. So I figured it always looks better when I work small. So why not just have a really big pencil and pretend like I'm a giant, and then work on something normal size? See, that's how you think.
I think that's
But he's using it on the hair really lightly because I know that's not a very. That's like maybe an HB at the most.
yeah, it's a real hard pencil.
Yeah.
Hard lead.
You're right. I mean, because they're not made to draw with; they're just made to mark wood.
Yeah.
By carpenters. But I got them myself, and they're great for what you're doing right there, doing the gesture drawing.
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing the layouts and stuff.
Yeah.
Have we figured out what the second issue is going to be about?
Yeah, it's going to be cryptids. So that's what I'm finished with the. I finished with the Blue Beetle. So Leslie Hall Trigg, this is who I did this for. Your Blue Beetle is completely finished now, and so all I got to do is sign it. And I'm about to start on a character design for the second issue, for the story that I'm going to be illustrating. And Brian, I don't think I've told you about this yet, but I want to be doing a story about a werewolf.
I heard about it.
But this is going to be a Choctaw werewolf. And so I'm going to be creating the actual character, and his name is Neshoba, which is, we know Neshoba County, where they have the Choctaw, are centered at.
Yeah.
I did not know that until just recently that Neshoba is Choctaw for wolf. And so I said, that's his name.
Nice.
And so whenever you if you drive through Neshoba County, you know that you're driving through Wolf County. Tony's joined us, by the way. So.
Is that Tom Arnold?
Oh, you are going to be smacked when I see you guys. You wait for Pensacon this year.
Man, that'll be here before you know it.
That's right.
Okay.
Got to get with Mike. See how all that's wrapping up.
Yeah, usually we don't know. We don't know until like
the weekend before.
Yeah. So
Mike, if you're listening.
Yeah, Mike, if you're listening, let us know. We're all wanting to come, but it would be cool to know.
Woohoo.
All right. Okay, now I'm done.
Yes.
So.
Sure.
I've got to where I use this eraser more than any other eraser out there. It cleans it. It cleans it a lot better.
Yeah, not to worry about all that crumbly stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And you erase right off the paper.
And it doesn't peel off some of the erasers you get will peel off the ink.
Sure will.
That's another thing that inking on a blue line you don't have to worry about.
Nope, you just let it go.
Yeah. When Scott comes back over here, I'll tell him to send, because I got Mitch's thing here. I'll just tell him to scan it for you.
Yeah.
So you can get on it.
Well, make sure Mitch is done. See if he wants to do anything more to it. Other than that.
But what are you working on now besides your Kablam duties? Are you working on any of your own titles?
For Pensacon, I'm trying to finish up the coloring on Mystery Girl number 5, so I can be done with that.
So you can have copies with.
Oh yeah, yep. And then I should have the trade done also, all 5 issues in one. That's gonna be a pretty big book, because unlike my Little Nay and So in the Zomboy stories, which are only 8 pages, basically little short little stories that I'd make into one big one. The Mystery Girl, well, they were, I think one of them was like 32 pages. So, yeah. So they're pretty big. So the trade's going to be, 200-page trade when it's done. So.
And these are standard size comics. I know you dabbled in the like manga size, the digest size.
Digest size. Yeah, this regular size books.
Yeah. Do you guys get a lot of orders at Kablam for digest size books?
Yeah, for the little manga books. Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
really?
We print.
Okay.
Yeah, that and trade versions of the same stuff. Yeah, we do. Everything up to
do trade
down to the little manga size books. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're giving me stuff to think about. Brian is over here right now, or he was. He's not. He still is. He was doing not an experiment, but he was showcasing negative space when he was doing the hair. And that's something that you learn. I learned it in high school, but that was one of the first things we learned, is to draw the space between the actual object, and we call it negative space, and that's what he's doing with the hair there.
When you mess up, you just use a little white paint on top of it.
Yeah. Or whether you mess up or you just plan on doing it that way, it's there to. And how do you, whenever you're doing it pencil like that, do you have an eraser that you can swipe in there and cut it like a real fine? Yeah. Okay, there you go.
It's not going to work as well in a 8B, but it's something.
Right.
You can always lighten it up with some paint.
Right. Very cool.
There's a lot of them meant to do that.
Is your goal with that to leave it in pencil, or do you plan on taking it to a painting? Or do you usually start out like that would you go that far with a painting with your pencil?
With the detail?
Yeah.
Normally I don't paint on this type of paper, so I just usually leave this as black.
Gotcha. I think it looks great just like that. Yeah.
I can spray it with stuff and make it where the paint doesn't go into the paper, but it's still a thin paper. No one likes to have a painting on this kind of thin paper.
Right. Was it just drawing paper or sketch paper?
Very thin bristle.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
I'm going to do a gradient.
Oh, yeah.
So Brian, would you be like Mitch if you decide that you didn't like the hair, you would just erase the whole thing and start over again? Because we don't erase the whole thing and just draw it again.
Now, actually, if I mess up, I'll change my mind, and that'll be my new idea.
When you blend, do
I
you
did.
usually use your finger to do it, or do you use because whenever you use whenever you use this,
Mhm.
it tends to you lose. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, the
You
oils,
lose the
Yeah.
not the detail. You lose the
Mhm.
kind of sort of. It's like
You got a blender? Is that what
makes,
you're using?
it's not done by a human hand anymore. It
I'm
feels
using
artificial.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a certain amount of abrasiveness in the finger. In the
Yeah.
fingers. Sometimes there's a little bit of oil and some moisture.
Yeah, yeah.
And the moisture, I
It
think,
keeps the texture there,
Yeah.
which is important. I think.
Yeah. Now, some purists, if you're working with like, they would say you never do that because the oil will get into the paper and it causes resist.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm all about resist.
Right.
I always love using a lot of waterproof stuff and then painting on it with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
you've always been a guy that would just use whatever you needed to use to get the thing done. You'd
Oh, yeah.
put it on top of oil, on top of markers, on top of alcohol markers, everything.
There's some rules you do have to follow. Like if you're using a marker, make sure it's not going to be a marker that bleeds through.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That's with anything.
that's the worst thing you can do is have a marker go through your.
We got John, Derek.
We got Gulf Coast creators that are top of the line.
Oh, John. Well, I'm pretty much hands out probably the best inker.
I would say so. These in this time. Yeah, yeah. And he's literally just in Slidell.
Out of everybody we know, John is probably the only one who's never gone a month without having a job.
Well, for the mainstream.
Yeah,
He's been in the mainstream longer than any of the rest of us. I think he even survived that whole Marvel. I don't think he went without work during that whole the bankruptcy.
Yeah, he's never gone like mainstream work. He's never gone a month without having a job.
Yeah.
Usually he's working on 2 or 3 books at any given time during the week.
That's true.
Yeah, I wanted to show this to you. That's going to be the first page, and Tommy's going to eat it. Tommy wants a scan of that.
No, you did not.
I did too.
Oh, you can see the snake.
Well, you need to do it again.
And you see the mouse appeared. Now that'll be in
I'll send
silhouette
it again.
up there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
He just wants to get it to make a blue line out of it so he can ink it. So.
I'll get with you afterwards and find out how you want it.
And then this thing that Ryan is doing over here, I thought that we could use for like a full pins bulletin or a letters page or something like that. Yeah, you could even do. I know Marvel used to do contests and like name the letters page, and send it out and get all kind of crazy ideas. But
So, Brian, if we were to tell you that she had curly hair, would you be upset?
She didn't have curly hair. Oh, some hair is frizzy. Well, look, check this out, though.
Yeah, it's that white hair.
There it is. There's some girls. There's some girls. She got wavy hair. Wavy hair.
It's sprigs. It's not consistent.
Twigs.
It's like, it's just twang. It's the way she slept on.
Yep, just look at my hair.
She got hair like Renee. It's a little curly.
Well, I'm not going to say nothing.
They're faux dreads. Yeah, that's all right. That's cool. As long as I can always go with some stray white lines too. It's not a big.
There you go.
He added an earring to her. I don't know if you saw that. That's a first. I like that.
And the bracelets too.
Yep.
I'm a bracelet person.
Yeah. Anytime I see it, I'm like, I'm gonna.
But she had bracelets. I remember drawing bracelets on her as a young one, and earrings. So that's perfectly in line with what we've got planned. See, that's another thing. I would love to draw this as the opening page, and then as our outro page, have her drinking her own potion, and she comes out as the young witch. So it's that transformation that transformation thing at the last of the book.
So there's a lot of play there. That's pretty cool. I like that.
But yeah, we definitely could use that for.
Who are we gonna get to cosplayer at cons and stuff?
That would be something.
Well, yeah.
Have costume contests.
Sure.
Phantom Barber.
Yeah.
Which would be
that would be cool. And I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see that as a that's something that probably happen organically as well.
Yeah,
it usually does. Have you talked to the guys at Mississippi Comic Con about the possibility of having
I saw they've already started announcing.
I've mentioned it to him, showed him what we're doing. So hopefully.
I don't know who to reach out to. I think Jake.
I got you. I got who. I got I can give you his email and everything.
Because I've had several people ask if we're going to be there, and I'm just like, yes,
yeah,
we will in some capacity.
For sure. And it would behoove him to get local, talent, there to do this stuff.
And plus, you'll be there. I'm assuming Jason would be there, so they have artists already there that work on this. They can go get the book and go get it signed.
Jason's usually there, yeah. And and that's always, behooves us to have the full retinue, or at least as close as we can. Yeah, I guess Jason's the only one that worked on it that's not here, right? Or
John Jennings.
Yeah, that's right. But he's in Texas, right?
California.
California.
I know.
Huh.
He's out there.
But I know he's doing some stuff for Marvel. I know.
He's teaching at one of those schools.
Gotcha.
He was messaging me one day. I was asking him about how the comic was going. He was like, "It's going well, but we're running away from some wildfires right now."
Yeah, I heard about that. I got a message from Dave Olbrich the other day saying Dave Olbrich is marked himself safe from the wildfires on the mountain or something. Yeah. This was like last week. Yeah. So anyway.
And Rick Harrison also, which of you guys are artists, is not here. He's up in Hernando.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a drive for him.
Where is Hernando located?
It's very tippy top.
Oh, okay.
I think it's almost
like Olive Branch area or further out to the west.
I think a little further west.
Okay.
Going towards Arkansas.
So Delta area. Okay. Gotcha.
That's way up there.
Yeah. Yeah, we go into Arkansas at Greens. What's his name's Muppet? Jim Henson's home.
Henderson House? Henderson House? No, it's a bed and breakfast.
Jim Henson.
Oh, no.
The Muppet guy.
Oh, never mind. There was a
Never mind. Boy.
That was one of his brothers saying
No, no, seriously, no. We used to go to
Henson
bed and breakfast in Arkansas. You said Arkansas?
Yeah.
I called it.
Went to Little Rock.
Okay, Henderson House, different place.
Yeah. He popped up. Henderson House.
Well, that's where, it's just strange enough. They went to Henson's in Arkansas.
Jim Henson was from Greenville, and that's where we crossed over into Arkansas. There's a big bridge. Yeah.
That's like about the Muppets, and I went there with my friends, and that took like 2 minutes to do. Like 5 minutes to do the whole thing. We were like.
Yeah, and it's literally right on the border of Arkansas. Yeah. But yeah, it's a completely different Mississippi than it is down here up in that area in the Delta. Completely different. It's like a different terrain, different vibe, different everything. I think we're going to Little Rock again this year, aren't we? Are we supposed to be going there? Yeah.
The one that has a big
I was over there and I was
Did you show them the pictures from the sketchbook? What do you think?
Okay. I'm going to start drawing our guy. Blue Beetle from the he goes way back to the 1960s. Yes, it was not even a stun gun. It was his buzz gun. basically just flashed the light and made a lot of sounds. It was there to mostly intimidate his foes.
Indication.
Anyway, all right. Time
Did you tell him that?
for our werewolf guy. Wait.
That when he does the second print, that in the comments it says that way he's got to be.
Yep, we'll definitely get some more of these pencils. I'm almost been using them pretty quick.
I've never drawn with an 8B before. Where did you get that?
Well, remember they used to have the
Lowe's?
Lowe's. He got the other one from Lowe's.
No, the Lumograph sets. And anyway, the 8B was like, oh, I really like it. It's not shiny when you push down on it, right?
Right.
So I'm just gonna get a whole box of them. So I got a whole box of them.
Mm. What brand is it?
It's Stedler.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're usually blue, but
Yeah, that's what I did. That threw me off. I've never seen one that's black or whatever.
speaking of, you still have that one the pencil with the wings eraser.
With the wings.
Yeah, the wing eraser.
Yeah, I think so. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
Blackwing?
Was it Blackwing? Yeah, I do.
Because I was.
I don't know. I have it. I don't know if I have it with me.
Okay.
But yeah, it was called Blackwing. Those are expensive, but they're really good.
Now, was it the silver one or is it dark? Because they have like 3 different types.
This green, the actual pencil is green. The body of it is green, like this.
Okay.
But this isn't. This is something else. This is Kimberly, whatever that is. I
Is
think
it-
I got that at Hobby Lobby.
Because we had it last time. I should have asked you to try it out.
Let's see. I might have it in here.
I'm not going to spend that much money on pencils unless I know it's good.
Yeah, unless you know it's good. But that one is good. The pencil that Matt sent, and I know, but I'll probably it's probably at the house.
It's fine.
And another thing.
I think the black one is the matte one. You see, and I wonder if it was anything like this. That's not gonna be as dark as this, obviously.
Yeah, that's almost like charcoal.
Yeah.
You know.
I love charcoal, except I hate using charcoal.
Yeah,
You'll probably do that.
because it's always a mess.
Mm-hmm. And have
Yeah.
something as dark as
You have a
charcoal,
mustache.
and then you don't have to worry about it.
So that'd be-
Yeah. It's crazy. And then any bit of oil you get in your hand, you get stuck on the paper and it causes a mess.
All right.
I did
So-
not like the days in school when having to use charcoal. It was not fun.
All right.
I would have done art in school, but I was too dumb. I had to keep on working on my math.
So you didn't take any art classes?
One semester.
Really?
Yeah, because I couldn't do it again though because my math skills were so bad.
Well, did you like it? I mean, did you have a good teacher? Or?
She was nice. It was very basic.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the time they are.
Mm.
Dude, I took it every year. I wasn't supposed to it only went from art 1 and art 2. I don't know how the guy was able to pull the strings or whatever, but I literally took art every year that I was there.
I wonder if they let me.
What about you, Tommy? Did you take any art in high school?
I think 1 year worth of stuff, but it wasn't really art. It was like, make a stencil out of leather, that kind of thing. It was those kind of art stuff.
Yeah.
Really had it.
You went to Perry County, right?
Do what?
You went to Perry County High School, right?
Yeah, but that's not even where I had the art. I didn't take any in high school, any art class. This was like a junior high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nope, just like to draw on my own.
Yeah, I remember when you used to come over and I guess you would take some of Mitch's stuff, some of my stuff, and you would practice on it, but you would do it on like tracing paper overlays or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you would come and show me, and I'd tell you to work on it. Probably showed Mitch too, and tell you to work on this, work on that, and you'd come back, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really committed. Because you we have a lot of people that would come up and say that, but they never would follow through. But you were the one that kept at it, you know, and it paid off.
Nobody follows through.
Yeah, right.
Well, you always gave me good stuff. Mitch was telling me to quit.
Oh, really? He was giving you the Neil Adams. Get in.
That's right. He was like, quit coming over here. Quit bugging us.
Because you were working at Walmart, right, in the pet department, I think.
Yeah, I was. I sure was. Yeah.
Yep. Man, that was way back in the day.
Way, yeah.
We're dating ourselves now.
I'm losing my perspective from drawing at a weird angle.
I find myself doing that sometimes too if I'm drawing flat, and I'll look when I hold it up, the face looks elongated.
Oh yeah, I want to make sure I didn't start off that way, so I'm okay that way. But
sometimes the eyes are kind of cockeyed, you know, not on the same plane.
So creepy.
I want the Shoba to be like black, like a black maned wolf type, you know, to make him different from
red ones.
Yeah, make him different from Werewolf by Night or Wolfman or any of that other stuff. And I wanted to, and I like the idea of him, like he's taking his clothes off and throwing them in the, you know, he's got a knapsack. He's a wanderer, you know, so he knows when he's going to change. It's not, I don't want him to run around with ripped jeans all the time, you know.
Yeah.
It's like he's a wolf, and he knows how to control, you know, and it's not based on full moon type.
So when he goes full wolf, he takes his clothes off and then wolfs out.
Well, yeah. I mean, because he knows he's not going to need clothes when he's a wolf, you know.
Yeah.
Hair.
So he can throw his clothes in a backpack. So he needs to be wearing a backpack.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe unless he's, like I said, unless he's like attacked or something, then he has to do it. Then he'll still have his clothes on. I see him like with that leather vest that I was showing you, but with the designs and stuff on it, and he can just easily take that off because he's not wearing a shirt underneath it, you know.
That was a frustrating thing when I was working at White Wolf doing werewolves.
Yeah.
They always wanted to draw them tearing off their clothes and stuff.
Right.
But in that world, they're magical beasts, so their clothes grow with them. That's so lame. It's part of the fun is
their clothes grow.
Yeah, it's like you put.
So when they turn back, they're not naked. They got their clothes back.
I was so lame.
Yeah.
So he'd be wearing a tuxedo if he had one on beforehand.
Yeah. So if he was in a tuxedo before, he would have it back on whenever he changed. Oh Lordy. Whatever. And I even thought that he would have the like the dog leg, like his leg.
Where it bends at the backward part,
like this. It would bend back on itself like that, and that would add that extra speed. Even though his face is still got that Werewolf of London kind of look, he still has that animal, maybe even a tail. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to.
Well, you're making that
because this is a PG book. You can't, you don't want to go too nuts with it, but
that's what silhouettes are for.
Yeah. Well, another thing, because he's black, it'll be easier to obfuscate. I was about that for a word. Obfuscate some things.
Oh yes, great. He doesn't have pants on. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought about.
Well, he's furry. You know, it doesn't matter, right?
Right. He don't care.
Nah.
So we try to, and we.
It'll be the X-rated version of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve and I have talked about like blending certain elements into this character from what Native American folklore and legends and stories.
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers to Rougarous to werewolves,
right.
and kind of like a somewhat of a blend, but yeah, that he could control. But I also think he would have an emotional connection to it too. So if he was endangered or angered, it would make sense that it could contribute to transformation as well.
You gonna give them big old long finger claws kind of thing? Or
Yeah. We got to have that. That's the Wolverine type thing that you gotta have.
If you do research on werewolves, there used to be just as many werewolf trials as there were witch trials.
Yes, because the wolf population was such a problem, with they carry off kids and things, and so that's where the whole werewolf thing got. And you know about the beast of Gévaudan?
Oh, yes.
They never did figure out what that was. Somebody killed it. But it could have been anything. There was a movie about that came on. It's called The Brotherhood of the Wolf. And it was in that. I think it made it. Well, I don't want to give the plot away, but it was basically it was another creature that was made up to be. But it was artificially. It was like not mutated, but changed.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think they were
French
tigers.
movie.
Or,
It was a lion, I think is what it was.
There were two of them. There was a deranged man who got these two lions. He literally built like a suit of armor for these lions. Did not feed them, mistreated them, and then he would set them loose on people as they went into the woods.
Oh Lord!
That's actually what happened.
Here in the States?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was in France.
Oh, so it was in Europe. It wasn't in Africa or nothing.
Oh yeah, it's just awful.
It was really boring. He was born back then. Something.
Real.
That's like throw the Christians to the lions. For y'all, sure.
Yeah.
Let y'all
pass them around.
Yeah,
Make
we'll just
sure
go,
they get down to Lily.
go around and yes, ma'am.
A man needs his hobbies.
Yeah.
What was interesting about it, they asked for help, and hunters came from all over, like to help this town. And Brotherhood of the Wolf is an interesting movie. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I got it. I got it on DVD. I hadn't seen it forever. But it's just really well done. It reminded me of a Hammer movie. It had that same feel. But that movie with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. Is it Ghost in the Darkness or what? It was about the lions that would, and they were building a railroad or something, if I can remember right. And then the lions would attack them. That's based on a true story, I think.
So you can see the actual lions in the museum in Chicago. They have
Really?
them taxidermy.
Wow.
They found the
man-eaters.
remains of, I want to say over 100 people.
Yeah.
In that cave.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
I guess I get a taste for them.
Yeah. Taste for human blood and not afraid anymore.
So what's with the train noise?
That's on somebody's phone. I don't know which one it is. It ain't mine.
Is Lily's phone?
Oh, it's the doorbell? Okay. All right. There you go.
Steven?
Hey.
I'm going to give you this one for that remark from the Kickstarter.
Okay. And it's the Burn Witch Burn, right?
Yeah, that one. You don't have to do it now.
and do it like right here. Okay. I'll probably do a video of that later, or a reel or something of doing it, and I'll probably do it right here in this area. This is the one I got to do the remark on, and she wants the person wants a witch burning at the stake.
Oh,
like,
boy.
Okay. We can handle. I can handle that. So.
This will be my personal one. I'm going to sign that.
Sure.
I'll get all my signatures in.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I get to be the first one on this one.
You're gonna sign your own book.
I don't know if I can
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Is this one you're going to get CGC'd and slapped?
Let them know that your saliva's on there. It's an extra price.
There you go.
I might do that too.
Hey Brian, I'm authorizing you to sign it for me.
All right.
Yeah, can I get a PDF of yours?
Yeah. He wants a PDF of your
So,
signature.
Sign is that Tom Arnold, right?
E-signature.
Doesn't he seem like Tom Arnold to you a little bit?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Now 2 people are going to get a smack.
You mean you're not, your sister's not the queen of methamphetamines? You heard about that, right? You heard about
I
that?
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no, there was a documentary on it. Tom Arnold's sister is actually like a kingpin or queen pin
Queen pin.
of
That's a new one.
of methamphetamine.
Queen pin.
Yeah.
I'll have to store that one behind in the back of my head. Queen pin. See the logo of that in my head. You notice werewolves, like they got that underbite. They got their teeth that like almost like tusks sticking out. Did you see the Wolfman movie, the one that came out in like 2010 or whatever, with that Benicio, whatever his name was? I kind of liked it, but it wasn't. I heard that there was a lot of problems behind it, but Rick Baker did the makeup effects, and I loved the way it looked and the transformations and stuff. All was really cool. I like the feel of it, but that's another one I got on video that I haven't, or DVD that I haven't watched.
Is that Anthony Hopkins was in it?
Yeah, he was playing the father.
Yeah, the Queen of Meth. Queen of Meth, yeah. That's the Arnold. That's
the Queen Pin of Meth.
Amazing. I was telling that, Tom Arnold, because it's basically he wanted me to sign it for him. He wanted me to sign a comic book for him. I asked him if he wanted me to sign it for him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of drawing this werewolf, and I like it. I like the way he looks. He reminds me of the old movie I saw when I was like 5 or 6 called Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed. Man, where he was up on the rooftops and burning hay bales down at people. That was a cool show.
And then the woman who played his mother.
Yeah, played his girlfriend in some other movie they did.
And then for the photo stills, they're together hugging.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What is that thing? She's beautiful. Her name's Jane Austen.
So I don't know who I'm signing this for. I just started. Lil, did you give this to me to sign? Am I passing it on to Brian? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. Has Mitch already? Okay. I have that. Did you see this?
Oh, I hadn't seen it since you got into it.
So, Scott, you already got that scan then, right? So you don't need it. You don't need the actual drawing.
I love that you use 30-year-old paper.
Well, I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it with you. Okay. Well, I didn't want to give it back to him.
Unless he did more to it since the last time he scanned it.
TIFF 300 DPI. Is that what you're looking for, Tommy?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
TIFF file.
Full size.
I've never heard of a cat that
Should get enough detail.
What color?
My Canon camera was a game changer, though. My scanner was horrible, and then the new scanner was way too expensive.
Very specifically.
It's good seeing y'all.
So yeah.
Very nice.
Bye.
You taking Mitch back home?
Yeah, taking Mitch
Awesome.
home. It's that time.
Tell him we said bye.
I will.
Who's leaving?
Right here.
What?
Say hey to Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
Who is it?
That was Lily.
Oh, Lily's taking Mitch home?
No, that was Kristen.
No, that was Kristen that's taking Mitch home. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. You're like you got like one cone that you're seeing.
That's right. I can see somebody's feet. Somebody's wearing white tennis shoes in the background. I can see them with black.
We're talking about
right.
going out to eat somewhere. Sure, that
That's
sounds.
what we were doing. I said we were gonna ask Fallon. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
Which one of them?
Everybody's trying to come out with an eye.
Where are we gonna go eat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know.
You gonna join us?
I am. You can bring an iPad and set it up, and I'll just sit there and watch y'all.
Hey, we did that for All Souls Day. We put out a little plate of cakes for the Butlers. We probably just go up there. It's fine.
What is it? What time is it?
Tony goes.
It's not 5 yet. Oh, it's 6.
Tony
6
goes.
for you guys.
It's dark.
Okay.
Tony
Good
goes.
Lord.
Tony goes.
It doesn't seem like we've been here all this time.
Tony goes to sleep early, so we might have to.
Tony's asleep already.
Well,
I went to bed last night at 8 o'clock.
really?
That's all rare for me because I usually stay up, but I've been staying up late and getting up early consistently for the past like 2. So I guess my body said, nope, you're going to bed early.
It'll kill you.
But you got that stressful day job. I can imagine it's stressful or can get that way. Christy's constantly tired. She gets home. Something about that couch. She sits down on that couch and 15 minutes later, she is out like a light.
Where is she today?
Huh?
Where is she?
All right, just send to us.
Okay, thank you.
She's making soap at the house.
Now look, Mitch has already left. Do you want me to mail this to you? Because I will.
No, I don't need it.
Because if not,
Y'all hold on to it because we can try to use it to sell in the Kickstarter, the next one.
Y'all want to go ahead and quit going live, and then y'all can still talk.
That's fine. Here, I want to show this. This is my initial drawing of our werewolf character for issue number 2. This is Neshoba, the Choctaw werewolf, and I will draw him in his human form when I get home and show you the difference. I gave him long hair because I would think that it would, when he transforms, especially here, when he still has like more of a human form, he'd still have the long hair. Where would it go? He'd still have it.
And this is an ad. We're going to have a comic book for Tressa May before,
Yes.
and the next one is going to be
Yes.
beautiful and silky hair.
with a few sprigs just for Tommy. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in.
Appreciate it.
See you
Thanks.
next
We had a
time.
great time. Bye.
Bye.